How's it going, bro? How you been?
What's the deal, man? How you
I'm doing,
feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Just waking up, saw this live, so I'm like, you know what, might as well join. Might as well share some of my opinions.
hmm What you
Right,
got for me, man?
right.
Yeah, I just started on up.
What's the difference between all black Americans are thugs and all police are racist and bad? To be honest, there's a couple differences in that. I mean, you know, I'm not saying I mean if you think about I'm be honest, bro. There's some differences. It's just worded differently. I'll be honest, but I don't think that all black people are thugs. As a matter of fact, some of my bestest friends, man, they're high, make more money than me, higher status than me, richer than me. I love them for that, bro. I love how they got their money up and stuff, right? And yeah, all police are racist, bad. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know some down in the South are, pretty ignorant to a couple things, but I don't know. I'm not too sure about all that. I mean, they have done some pretty bad things. I ain't gonna lie. Like, police have done some pretty bad things as of recently, but to say they're all bad, I don't know. You think all men are, essayers? Nah. Same thing could be said there, in my personal opinion. I mean, that's just like saying all men are nothing but dirty cheaters, but we're not, you know. Why do Americans have hard submitting? I think a lot of that is them not really understanding, the idea of freedom. They think through democracy freedom, democracy freedom means you get freedom to do whatever you want. That's not what we got. We still got rules and regulations we gotta follow. We still got authority and stuff, to keep the peace. But you know, yo, it's crazy, Sugar Pie. You're saying that. Okay, and you kind of light skinned too. So, anyways, can black people be racist? Depends, in my opinion. I don't really know. I'll be honest. It depends, cause what do you define as a race? I mean, my time in Europe. I mean, I'm a Spaniard. I've been called, especially my dad being brown. My dad being brown because he's Greek. I've been said, no, I can't identify as white when I've been in Europe because my daddy's brown. But here in America, I'm obviously a white dude, and so is my dad, even though he's just a light skinned brown person from Greece. He's obviously just Mediterranean. So there's an obvious difference. So here in America compared to my time in Europe, you know, differences. So what's the difference between like what do you classify as race? Honestly. I mean, race is such a. I think if anything, anybody can be prejudiced to any ethnicity, but racist, it just depends on what you define as a race. I mean, honestly, I mean, I know some black people in Europe, like they're whiter than me. I'm be real, like lighter than me, lighter than my dad, bro. But like, to be honest, it just depends. It just depends on what you define as a race. Now, if you outright just classifying everybody who looks in the same color, right, same skin tone, everything is a race, then that in itself is racist, right? If you think about it that way, just because they physical, yeah, it's made up. Just what Sugar Pie said, I kind of agree with that. It's a made up, right? It's made up. That shit was made up by British people way back in the day to prejudice people. They made that thing back in the day, and they also use that to fit with white tea supremacy, because you got to understand they who else they classified as white tea? They classified the Aryan people of Persia, the Aryan people, the Indo-Aryan people of Persia, and the Arabs, because those were the first civilizations in the world. So they wanted to classify that as white tea, so therefore it could fit their logic of why they're superior, which is not the way it works, because Arabs and Persians are obviously very genetically different than the European white tea man, you know. So therefore, yeah, race is a social construct. Now, I think anybody can be ethnically prejudiced, bro. I mean, myself, I'm Spaniard to Greek. I've been called several things by Turks, particularly Turkish people, about being half Greek and Spaniard. That's an ethnical prejudice. But Have I ever experienced racism? I'll be honest, not really. I've only experienced prejudice because of my ethnicity, right? What do you have to live for? What are you doing protecting it? I'll be honest, I just lost the thing I'm trying to live for, and that was my girl. She did something to herself. I ain't want to talk about on suicide, but that was one thing. But another thing I have to live for is Christ. It was about a week ago when my girl put herself in an early grave. So before her, I had nobody to live for but her. But getting now real connection to Christ, I feel like I gotta live, for that, for my mama. I'm my mama's only son. I'm her first son. So, right, you always gotta find something to live for, whether it be religion, whether it be for your family, whether it be for your girl, whatever it be for your dog, bro. What if you got an animal? The animal gonna have to be fed somehow. You can't leave that animal there, right? You gotta live for that. You gotta protect it, bro. Protect your kids, protect your family. Right?
All right.
Yeah, that's what I say, bro.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the topic itself, I was just I redid this one though. I might do another one too tonight. Cause I got a few of them I want to redo, and then the other one I did from yesterday, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But yeah, this one, I would say the reason why I put what's the difference is because we always put people in a box, right? And then the people that say that the one that say the other one get mad at the other one, or especially the one that when we don't like what they saying all black people are thugs. We don't like hearing stuff like that. But then again, we'll be the same one that say all police are racist though. So what would be the difference in it? I don't think putting both of them in a box. What I'm trying to get out of this is just bad people in both. You know what I'm saying? Is bad behaviors in both. So the fact that we always put everybody in a box and be hypocrites when it happened to us is like we don't really notice that though. So we can't be like, well, most of it that's your experience, right? Just like they can say that's their experience. So who to say who's valid or not? We don't have no tally up on how many people was in thugs or or how many people was racist. We just don't have a tally on that situation. So, but that's why I redid this one over again because it's just like it's really the mindset. And if we're gonna put somebody in a box, you're gonna either gonna stick with that you can box people in and be okay when it happened the opposite way, or don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I look at it. Don't be a hypocrite of what you believe in. What you got for us, main thing? How you feel about that? Anything you wanted to add to or take away on what he had said or whatever, or do you want to hit the topic itself? Even though I think he was in here when we did this one though, because today I'm just gonna do redos of my some of my other topics. I ain't got no topic for you. Main thing.
Hey, Kev.
What's the deal?
My bad. I'm over here attending to my nephews.
There you go.
What's the difference? All blacks are thugs and all police are racist or bad. Remember that. I'm not gonna say that because you're a part of the police force that you're a bad person. Because you got good and bad in anything and everything. Far as races, I think race is taught. Like, you teach somebody to look at color, if that makes sense. Like, you sit up here and teach your kids and tell them, oh, you don't like this skin tone. You do not hang out with this type of person because of this. It gives off a specific hate. I think you shouldn't categorize everybody as a whole because I'm working in the same field as an officer. Does that make me a part of the bad cops. No. It could give the perception that I am, but in reality, if I really serve and protect, and I've been serving and protecting the whole time I've been on this force, then I'm not a part of it. I just understand that it is crooked cops that is in the same field as me, but that's what we gotta separate. We gotta separate the dirty cops from the bad. What they say, all birds that flock together, all birds of a feather flock together. That could be true in some aspects, but I don't think you should look at everybody as a whole when it comes to everything. Because I don't think it's everybody is bad people. Why do Americans have a hard submit to authority? Because it's going against what they believe. I think it's hard to submit to one's authority when you're standing too strong on your own, when you feel like what you think is right or what you know is right. So when you're too selfish of being stuck in your own ways of thinking, it's hard to sit up here and listen to what someone is telling you, if that makes sense. I think people have a just have a way about them to where, you know, you feel like you gotta stand up in every way possible of life. And I think that everything isn't a fight. It's a way that you do go about things in life to get the certain outcome that you're trying to get to. Is it smart to argue with the police even if you know you're right? No, I don't think it's smart to argue with the police. I think let the police do their job. Either you can comply to what they're asking, or you understand that there are consequences that do come with being in America. Understand that there are consequences that come with being in America. Everybody don't sit up here and do things the right way. The cops know that they ain't doing things the right way. They still go against it because they understand they got a better chance at making things look like the way that they want it to look. Because in their eyes, justice is always gonna be on their side until they're proven guilty. Can Black people be racist? We prejudiced. I have to sit back and think about that. Like, when I think about being racist, right? I don't think Black people have a hate in their heart to where they naturally want to unalive a specific person. You get what I'm saying? Slavery showed that we were getting unalive just for our skin. You get what I'm saying? So you have a hate for the way one look. So I think we don't have that. I think we have it in us to where we might not like a certain way of living or doing, but for the most part, we don't hate people to where we just want to naturally just say, yeah, I don't like your skin tone, so I want to unalive you. So that's not in us. Um, so yeah, like, because when I think of racist, I think of, you know, doing like what you call that? When you're it's not malicious, but it's more like your dang Kev, you had it the other day, a couple like last week. You said it. It's not abuse, but
Am I
torture.
praying? Oh,
Yes,
torture.
you torture. That's being racist to me when you torture someone. And I don't think us as Black people we torture people. I don't think we do that. That's not naturally something we look to do. What do you have to live for, and what are you doing to protect it? You know, I live for those around me. Far as my nephews, far as myself, far as my own family, in my own household, I live for myself. And what I do to protect it is by showing up in ways where, you know, I try to make sure I keep myself and them out of harm's way. I make sure, you know, when it comes to certain eating habits, that we protect our health. I'm big on that. Like,
No, you not.
yes, I am. Don't come and attack me. Ain't nobody.
You already know. You the reason why I was sitting out on the outside, looking in, minding my business. I hadn't been TikToking or nothing. And I'm sitting up here and I'm like, I know I don't hear what I hear. And I'm sitting here listening. And you talking about you care about yourself, and that thing just beeping and chirping away. Just a chirping and just a beeping. Or you just a chirp.
He said I
But she
had to.
talking about she care about it. You don't care about yourself
Right.
because you don't care if a fire happen, you ain't gonna know it because your smoke detector battery gonna be unalive.
He said he had to go for that. He had to
Do
go.
not
Y'all been missing me that
What's the
much. Have
deal,
I been
man? Where
gone
you
that
been at,
long?
man?
Y'all just think y'all can come on here and just not check
Right,
y'all
you have
batteries
been
now?
gone for a minute. I'm like, what the hell?
Not the
Yeah.
smoke detector.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to be on vacation. I take a vacation and y'all get to slipping.
Then y'all hear a smoke detector?
I hear it beeping. I hear it chirping.
Dang, she's immune
Nah,
to
this
it. It's
not even
over.
my house. I told you, this my mama's house.
Oh, tell your mama I think she need a battery
She
change.
no, she on vacation.
The battery still need to be changed. It's just a chirping away.
That don't
No.
make it stop ringing. You not on vacation.
Yeah,
No
you
excuses.
got
Nah.
caught.
You
Don't be
better
trying to
change
hold me
mama's battery.
accountable.
I low-key thought it was me because I got my
Is
earbuds
your
in.
mama single? You know that's the single. You know
No,
that's
she
the
on
single woman.
vacation with my pops.
Oh, okay, because you know that's usually the single woman detector.
Okay, hey.
Boy, not a single woman detector.
Either you a single woman or you ain't got no dude around you that can fix nothing or care about nothing.
Oh my God.
Because if he a man and he care anything about you, he's sitting up there listening to that should drive him crazy. Look, I'm gonna fix your battery in your smoke detector because it's driving me crazy.
They got me immune.
Man,
They
ain't
get
no getting immune
immune.
to that. That's something wrong with you.
He
You
said,
get
ain't
immune to that.
no. I had to check myself, make sure I ain't got one going though, because I ain't gonna lie, I
Man,
used to
you
get
get
immune
immune to
to them
that. Something
things
wrong with
too.
you.
Look,
I mean, how
like,
you
I'm
get
just
immune
mute.
to?
I guess I'm an alien
Man,
then.
I get immune to snatching that mug out the wall.
Yeah, it'd be bad. I was brought up in the hard
Nah, that mug
times.
wake me up out of a dead
I'm
sleep.
blaming it
That
on
mug
that.
will wake me up out of a drunk sleep.
Well, Well, I sleep with my fan on anyway. But let's get to the juicy one then. Let's get to it though. Cause I do believe we could be racist. But let's start off. Let's start off with Sunshine, cause I know she came up here. We're gonna do Sunshine, then Meredith and Nick.
Yeah, I'm only up here for a minute, but I got you, bro. I'm on my hiatus.
Okay,
I'm enjoying
yeah.
this vacation. It's been hard. I want to go live again, but it's
Hey.
like I don't, I miss talking to y'all, but I don't feel like arguing with them folks no more. I've been liking this piece.
Facts. You gotta take that break. I already know I got a couple more people that be having to take breaks in this thing. And I feel it. You gotta do what you can, man, for real, for your own. Speaking of protecting yourself for that last question. But yeah. Go ahead, Sunshine. What you got for me? Because I hear that all the time. When you said that comment, I was like, I always see a lot of us always use the word. I guess to make us feel better. We just prejudice.
And I'm just the reason why, because it's all about reading too, bro. I just don't go off everybody. You know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to research. I'm just going to, I don't do the follow the leader thing. But the difference with the racism is a form of prejudice, where for, members of a particular group experience negative emotionals like reactions, negative stereotypes, associations with them, and racial discrimination. We don't consider it racial. We can't. I'm gonna just hold on for that. In extreme racist act, these individuals may be subject to violence. Okay, that's the racism one. The prejudice one is a negative attitude towards a person or group of people solely based on their supposed characteristics. You get what I'm saying? Or stereotypes ahead of any experience with them. Further, prejudice feelings or preconceptions about a person or group usually come with no supporting factual or rational evidence. So this is what I just summed up. While prejudice doesn't always evoke feelings or HATE. I don't know if I could say that because I ain't trying to have people try to take me down. I got a lot of haters, but I might as well say it. I just said haters. So, hey, it is still damaging. It can also include effective reaction, such as anger, contempt, and pity. Unlike racism, prejudice is more broad and encompasses racism, discrimination, and bias. So there's difference between the two. No, I don't feel that as Black people, you may do, but I don't, bro. It's a difference. Like we come from, even just with our ancestors, right? How they came to and what they've been through and how they've been through back in the day. That was racism, dealing with the color of their skin. On the fact that we are Black people, we had experienced that. Even we still to this day experience that from opposite side of people. Not all, I'm going to say that because I don't want people coming jumping at me. Not all experience these behaviors, but I can say for me, I get upset at that particular group that, shows that side towards our color people. You get what I'm telling you? And that makes me feel some type of way. I just like their character. That doesn't mean I want to do something to them or make them to do things like they did to us, if that makes sense. It's a difference in how you do things. It's a difference of how, you can carry, bring two together. So I feel as Black people, I'm just going to say this to sum it up. I feel as Black people, no, I don't think we can be the big racism. I don't know. We can be very prejudiced because of, again, what we experience. And also it'd be that particular group or whatever put us through this situation. We can turn that, and be upset with the characteristics that they are showing to us, and we don't like it. So therefore we stay away. I'm going to say I stay away because I don't know everybody, but I stay away from that particular group. So it is a difference. People put both of them together because they are similar in little things, but they are different. And this is why I say it's important that anybody can go Google it. You will see the difference. I don't feel that way. Maybe y'all do, hey, to each his own, but for me, don't. I just don't like particular people that show off the art to us, if I could say it like that, and especially if it's not our color, that give us a right to be doing the same thing to each other. Now, that's a whole different topic. You need that topic, Kev. Bring that topic back about us. You need to bring the Black community topic back so we can really head on that seriously. Because then we can go real far, because there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about amongst us that we can try to repair. But for me, I don't feel that as Black people we can be that way. And then the last question I want to hit on.
Is that the one you
Was
talking?
you,
The one
I
I did
wasn't
yesterday?
on here yet. Which one?
'Cause I did one yesterday too. That's funny. I'm like, was you watching on the
No,
outside? Don't be
I
sneaking
wasn't even
on. Better
on.
come
You
in here.
did
Say
have
nothing.
one?
But I did one yesterday. I'm gonna do that tomorrow though. Actually, it's about America. Do we think that America be better if it was Black owned, or if Black people own the world, basically? Because I know they say YT own the world, and I basically switch it up. So, but I'm gonna do
Oh,
that one
invite me
tomorrow
to
though.
that.
It's
I want to
basically kind
join
of
that.
like that.
No, please, because I don't be on.
Gotta
I'm
see
like
it.
Mirror. I don't be on here. I be trying to get my, but invite me to
Facts.
that. But
I feel it. The last time I seen you
yeah,
on here, you was
'cause I
preaching
be,
though. I was like, hey, do
that's
your
you know, somebody
thing.
try to shut me down for one day and said that I was doing what is it, violent acts, which it was a lie, so I had to appeal it. Seriously, I was just talking, and they sitting up there. That's why I'm telling you, you can't spread awareness without somebody hating on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just true.
That's because you just like me, direct and stuff. They get all direct people and they don't sugarcoat stuff and they want to tear them down. Do the same thing they doing with Just a Girl right now. Oh, you hurting us, but she holding the people accountable. She ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing or whatever, and they trying their best,
I
but she
low
got
key
her
kind of
stuff right
agree with
back. So
Sunshine.
whatever.
I mean,
That's the
me
Yeah,
what we
personally,
got. But I think, look, I wanted to say this too. I do think it is a difference because, like, I've been having, well, I ain't gonna say a debate, but I've been talking about this for a minute. I do think it's a difference between the racism and racist being racist. I guess because I'm just going based off the definition, because it just say, and then I just look at how, and the reason why the only reason why I believe that Black people can be racist because I see them do the same exact thing that YT people do. And some of them, they just flat out just be mad at a YT person because they YT, and never knew nothing about them, just got this thing against. And I'm like, bro, so either way, right? Even if we don't want to call it that, right? I just think they both just as bad. No matter if you want to say racist or prejudice, they just as bad because I see the same thing in my book. It's both a hatred, it's both I don't like you because of this, or I don't date this because of that. So I can say I say prejudice there if we want to say that, but it's just I think it's the same exact thing. To me, it is because it's like you don't like this person because their skin. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where a lot of us is kind of trapped at because it's like we can't see that. And I got so many people that's the opposite color that treated me better than my. Look, this is gonna make it worse. Like I was happy working for a YT guy now. Because my Black guy that I was working with, that dude was disrespectful. That dude, he even but no, but because I'm a good worker, right? I mean, he still kept me in, but I was always that type, like, all right, whatever, But that's why they liked me because I'm a good worker and and I don't do too much back talk. I don't back talk. I know I don't complain. I don't do none of this stuff. That's why a lot of people like me, both of them, the Black guy and the white guys, right? Because I just feel like if you make it easy for them, then the job will be easier, and they be easy with you, And then that's why they keep you in. Because that's why most of the jobs I've been in, they didn't want to hire me because I don't do too much back talk. But still, what I mean is like I noticed the difference when there's a Black guy that got the power and a white guy, and it's sad to say that, but it's just like this dude, he be disrespectful, he be flat out just talk to you crazy. I mean, this dude, I feel like he was like, he could cuss you, and it's like he want to fight because I think he's smart with it too. Because if you do fight, he probably just sue him or something like that. But I'm like, man, why you being like that towards our own people and stuff? Like, it just don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And now I feel it's crazy. I feel better working under because they never been disrespectful like that. Every time I work for a YT guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, why I gotta be our own kind? Especially my sisters. My goodness, don't let them get no power. It's all the way over. Yeah, boy.
But
Okay, that's a whole nother
already,
thing.
bro,
But whatever.
listen,
All right.
with and I just said some, not all, because I got to watch my verbiage. Some, YT, because they may treat you good, but in the background, they won't bring you over to the house. They may do that because I'm just saying, some of them may be good because they want to keep that position. We got to look at it like that, too. I'm not saying all the same. Some just there. They got to do it because they're part of their job. Now, with the Black, I agree with you 100%. That's why I say as Black people, We are worst enemies. I don't care if anybody say wrong. Yes, we are. Just the hell we are. Because how can I can uplift another black woman and then that be considered hate? You know, I'm hating on her, or oh, you trying to get like me? Or I can ask, hey, how did you get there? And I get the nasty look, and I'm like, dang, don't we post this again? It's about really us black people. You know, we rather focus on the outsiders instead of focusing on ourselves and try to build each other up, but we breaking each other down even more. Plus, being on outsiders helping with it, so we helping them. You know, and I'm just being honest. That's why I said when I can agree with you because again, everybody, I'm not saying it like this. Some people, especially our some black people, they are considered, they get so when they have a title or they get some type of power, they feel that, they can use that against us, but then they be 10 times worse and try to bring us down even more in front of a person that really care about them. I'm like, dang, you should help me. I'm not doing nothing wrong to you. But again, bro, can we just be honest? We messed up. So we're not seeing eye to eye. We seeing what we can take from each other and what we can gain from each other. And then after we get or gain that, then we like, okay, deuces to you. Go out there and struggle and get it your way. You need to get it. I got mine. You need to get yours. I'm just saying. I just wanted to add that in.
You mind if I ask a question?
You about to get shut down again. Chill. Say your preacher for that. What you got, Jay? You
so
say
I
you got a question? Go ahead.
Like, when you bring up, some of these experiences you've been seeing personally about, black people hating on white people. I'm gonna be honest, I never seen that before. If anything, I seen kind of the opposite. Like personally, if anything, black people, especially where I'm living currently, I go to Auburn, which if you know anything about Auburn, it's mainly Asians, but. Back when I was down on my luck, man, it was a black woman that took me in. Back when I was a young kid, it was a black woman took me in, pampered me, took care of me. When I was down on my luck, when my parents kicked me out, it was black people that took me in, fed me, took me to church. I'm gonna be honest, I never experienced that kind of prejudice or racism from black people personally. If anything, I never experienced anything but hospitality and love from them personally. I feel like that's the way a lot of black people are to a lot of people. At least from my experiences. So when I come on here and I see, videos or live streams like this saying, well, white people go through prejudice too. Like, I'm not saying we don't. I mean, every time I go to Europe, particularly Europe, I get shit on just for being a Spaniard because my parents are from Spain and Greece. But that's from other Europeans. That's not even from anything else. I mean, I've been to Asia a couple times. I get shit on, but that's from Asians. Asians are a whole nother subject. Asians and Europeans been beefing before anything else. But anyways, when it comes to black people in particular, I never experienced that. Neither has none of my white friends. We always been hospitalized, treated right. Heck, they treat us right even though, don't expect nothing in return. I still give them something in return. I'll be still paying I call her my mama, cause she kind of a mama to me. Cause my real mama wasn't a mama to me, but that black woman, she was a mama to me. So I pay her rent as a way of saying, I'll be honest, I do. As a way of saying, hey, thank you for taking care of me when I was kicked out by my parents at the age of 13. I pay her rent and I pay her bills at my job. Because that's what I'm going to do for her. I'm going to do something for taking me in, feeding me, and taking me to church. I'm going to be a son to her because she never had a son. That's just me. She took me to her church, pampered at a church. I had friends that she took in. I had friends that other black mamas took in that were white because they care. One thing I can say about black women is that they care the most. They got the most kindest souls I've ever seen. I'm going to be real. They do. But that's just me. And same with black men too. Some of the best fatherly advice I've got were from black men. And their wisdom is unmatched. I got more wisdom in the teachings from black men than I've ever had from white men. And that's just me. That's just me. I've actually listened to more black men than I've ever listened to a white man because a white man, my own kind, tells me nothing but lies. They lie to me. They refuse to help me. They'll say, oh, well, you follow the wrong type of Christianity. You a Catholic? Yuck. You this? Yuck. Get out of here. When it comes to a black man, they teach me advice. They tell me, hey, you don't do this because that will happen. They teach me how to be a man. I learned how to shave from a black man teaching me how to shave properly, shave my face. I learned how to shave from that. That's how I learned how to shave.
Let me say this,
Yeah.
because you know I'm me, man. I gotta keep thinking of things though. So we back to the black people racist thing. What about this? Can a mixed person, since we saying the black person can't be, or maybe some of us maybe saying something, whatever. But can a mixed person be racist because they got YT
I
in
don't
them?
think so, man. I mean, personally, they both racist. So how they?
This for this especially for Sunshine. I know she was one of the ones that said she don't believe black people could be racist. So I want to ask that:
So
can a
saying,
mixed person be
I'm gonna say
racist?
it like this. Look, you gotta see what side. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. I have mixed people in my family. They consider
Hmm.
themselves black. I never seen that part. But on the subject, if a person pulls more to their YT side, let me say it like that, more than their black side, and just disown that black part, um and there's just strictly just, I mean, I just feel like they just have issues. Because to be honest with you, bro, I never paid attention to this question, until you brought it up, and it kind of makes sense. But again, you got two individuals, I mean, two people that's mixed together. My son mixed, he's Puerto Rican and black, okay, and he got a little YT in him as well. So but he's still considered black. So I don't know. Now, if a person, they can be colorist, I don't know, dealing with being a woman, I see a lot, females that's like mixed or, some, not all, y'all, don't come for me, please. Cause, people coming for me. Some, they could be colorists if they are like,
No, Sunshine, stick your
listen,
chest out over here, man. That's what I tell everybody. You can
you
stick
gotta
your
keep
chest
me
out.
hold down now. But I'm just saying, no,
Yeah, I
yeah,
got your back.
so
I got your back. We
yeah,
sticking
so
chests out over here.
so yeah, you got don't want to be like I said, be colorist, man. Like, they feel like, oh, because we of a darker skin and they got a lighter skin and their hair may be curly, doesn't mean, we don't fit the criteria of being beautiful. Down, they can be that, because they got a dislike within their own skin and their own situation. So therefore, I can feel they could just be colorist. But when it comes to them being, racism or prejudice, I just end up saying prejudice because, again, they still got mixed people. They can choose a side, but they still got to realize they still got that black side on the, right there on the side with them. And can I address this comment? First of all, sir, in the comment, when you come for me and said that I'm a 304, I'm very married, 10 years strong. Maybe you need to go seek therapy and help to go get you some help with your, your livelihood, because something in you is sad and I'm not the cause of that being sad. Maybe it's your issues and your traumas with your mommy and daddy that you need to go fix and go work out within yourself. Don't come play with me, because I will have you on your knees praying to God to go fix your heart when you dealing with me, sir. So go have several seats and go fix your daddy and mama issues before you come speak to me, because you don't know who the hell I am and what I'm capable of. So therefore, have a beautiful and nice night. There you go, bro. I'm gonna be easy because they don't want.
Patriarchy,
Yeah, why
why
you
you
trolling?
trolling down there, man? What's going on? That was so random. Why you do that?
You ain't no
I
man,
don't know
bro.
why.
Calling
We
another
trying to keep
woman.
this on smooth. She just
He ain't
come
no
with this
man.
stuff.
He ain't no man.
So,
Calling another woman a 304. You ain't no man, bro. You ain't no man. You not gonna sit on here. Nah,
oh yeah, we ain't about to make it like that. We good. We good. We ain't gotta do
he
that.
ain't
I
no
don't know why
man, bro.
patriarchy doing all that for. Yeah, because I don't do all that
Yeah,
stuff in here. I don't try to
just
do all
block
that.
him.
I don't know why he even said. I even noticed he
Yeah,
said that too, though. That's crazy.
just block him.
Um, what's up, Sean? Just commenting to show my. This dude is horrible. He don't know how to act ever since he got the sub. Oh man.
Hey, can I say something?
But yeah, that's a good. You got me thinking on that too. I swear, I be thinking about some deep stuff when some just be sitting in my spirit. I'm like, hold up. So all right, if we got that. That means somebody can
Hey,
be half
hey,
not
let me
racist and
say
half
something real
racist.
quick.
If I'm like, what's up, John?
Yeah, you can be mixed and you can be racist. I've seen it happen, but it all depends on the upbringing, though,
That's a good
because
thing. Like,
I've had a person that I was related to, they were of mixed race, but they were raised with their white side more than their black side. And they actually fit into, they actually almost looked white, you know, until they came into the fold and until they got into college. They came from a small town, but until they got into college, they really didn't understand actually how to even socialize with, I guess you would say, people of color, you know, Mexicans, blacks, or whatnot. But it was a whole cultural experience for them. But they were raised to look at people who were darker as the others. So it depends on the upbringing. So it can happen, but it depends on how they were raised and what type of environment that they were in.
What you got on this, Mirror? I ain't heard from you. What you got on this, man? Get off that video game, too.
Look, mind your business. I
Love you, too.
First off, we can't be racist because racism is an illusion. Race is, again, you already know my spiel on this. Race is something that came out of the 1700s when Europe was ending slavery. America came up with the Darwin theory and brought up that we were different races in order to say basically we're different species. There's only one species, is the human species. A race is something you run. It's not something that you are. Now, but that being said, still dealing with today's topic, in order to be racist, from what I've come to understand of it, is that you have to be able to keep other people from being able to move forward or to gain or to prosper, to be able to have some means or way of almost, I guess, enacting some sort of privilege to others, you know. And as of today, I don't know of too much that black people own that we can keep others from growing or prospering in. We can be prejudiced to one another. We can be, I think we're more racist to anybody, kind of like what was being said earlier, is that we're more or less racist to one another. We're racist to each other more than we are to other cultures. And I'll say that, you know, we're the group that has become to the point where we can colorify anything. We can make anything a race issue and not realize that sometimes it's a character issue. We're the most connected, disconnected culture. We want to be connected on BS and disconnected when it comes time for us to stand tall. We flip-flop from what we used to be as a people and as a culture. Today, we have given in to being black as being the fool. And if I'm wrong, prove it to me.
Can I say something?
What happened? She just stopped talking? Or did she get muted
I hear me.
Oh, you got that Nate treatment. Speaking of, that's Nate coming in now. You got that Nate treatment. So you spoke, you just muted out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just want to say, because when I think about being racist, because I agree with everything Mary said, I think like the people who sat up here and they unalive and lost no sleep. They ain't lose no sleep behind it. Like, when I think of racist, I think of those people who sat up here and locked our people up for no reason. Like, even if you was innocent and did nothing at all, but you still got treated as if you were a problem to society. That's why I think when I think of racist, like, is. But it seemed like Mira said, like, nowadays we really are the people who turned on our own people, and we pick and choose what side of the fence we want to be on, determined on the group. But like I said, when I think of racist, I think people taught that shit. For real. But at the same time, it's like some things are embedded in certain people. And what I mean embedded is that you have like those people who sit up here and they hold up those traditional ways of well, my Paw, he had over 700,000 slaves. You get what I'm saying? Those people who still carry on those legacies. Like, that's what I think of when I think of racist people. Like, people who are heartless. People who only try to enslave or empower and dominate other people.
Let me ask this then. Do you, because I actually believe, I don't believe it just started off with YT though. I believe we enslaved ourselves at one point. I believe low key though, because because I think everything came from black anyways though. So I think, I don't know why we be making it seem like we make it seem like we innocent or something like that. Like,
hold up, real quick.
like YT people the most cruel ones, and I believe we was not just as cruel.
That's just it. We weren't. In the European,
how do you know that?
Because you have what you have in the history books. Don't get me wrong; they learned a lot of the tortures and some things from us, and we were doing it. But not all of our cultures were like that. So you have cultures that were like that, just like you had some that were cannibals. But all of our cultures and all of other people weren't like that.
It's the same in every culture too, right?
Right. Yeah, there was what was called indentured servitude, and there were other different types of slavery. But what the problem was how it was done in America, for how long it was done in America, and then for the country to sit here and deny what it did, as it constantly pushes it and constantly makes sure we never forget it.
Right. Yeah.
You believe in the Bible, right? Let's start off that then. First, then we gonna really talk.
About the Egyptians, yes.
Right. So do you think it was YT people in there? Right. So we started off being cruel. We was cruel to God first, right? So that's one reason why I believe that it was us. Shoot, they probably got it from us. You know what I'm saying? Then the YT skin came in. Because we happen to live in the day and age of, I guess, because that's why we in this era of YT against dark T or whatever. But I'm just saying that we in this era, but I believe stuff been way worse. That's why I even had a topic about that. I don't believe we was treated the worst out of everybody. I don't, because life has been around too dang long. We only gonna say that because we living at this time. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody want to feel like they're at the bottom. We went through the worst, my ancestors and all that, but our ancestors go far, far back. And I want to think beyond it. I even think I just don't get like with my thinking. I be paying attention like how big this guy. I just looked up this thing, and this going off topic a little bit, but I was even looking up how big the sun is. The sun can fit 1 million Earths in here. Then I look how big the universe is, and I'm like, bro, it's no way. Like it show you existence.
But Kev, I'm gonna honestly agree with you, Kev, on that part of I don't believe that we are the only ones who had it worse, because there are other people in other countries who are getting blown up, who is getting sent up here getting bombs and shit dropped on them, who is getting certain things taken away from them naturally and getting conquered. Like, so yes, people, because honestly, people gotta understand, you ain't never experienced that shit a day in your motherfucking life. You only feel like you only been through the worst shit because of your own selfish way of thinking.
Well, it was also how we were looked at, and still even today, we were looked at as we were not looked at as human beings. We were treated as livestock. We were treated as property. We were treated as if they owned us, and even toward the end. And that's why you still have a lot of the mess that you have today with the Karens and stuff like that, because some of them still feel like that they should own us. It's not only that, but then you have it where you have a narcissistic mentality where you have these people who have taken pictures like they were at a picnic and sent them to their family like postcards with us behind them, crispy, hanging, burnt with their children, and then called us savages.
Yeah, you gotta also understand it was y'all people that civilized the Europeans.
Hey, before you go real quick, I think Sunshine wanted to go real quick, and then
Gotcha,
I'll
gotcha.
let you go right after.
Okay, now I want to say when you touched on the Bible and stuff like that, that's why I tell people I don't do religion, period. Religion was created to keep us divided, but also you have to realize people don't read that King James of the Bible, or people Coco said that, King James, he was black, and he did a lot of stuff. That's why and when you said, you read, certain stuff in the Bible? Yes, I believe in it, certain stuff I don't. Some of that stuff I really don't. I just feel it was I don't feel, I read. It was like a lot of, how can I say? I'm gonna say it like this. It was okay. It's like a fiction. Yeah. So it was like, you get what I'm saying, Mira? It was like you have fictional issue, stuff like that. But you got to read for yourselves.
That's what it is. But
Hey,
no,
whenever you want to get to the talk on that, just give me some verses and we can talk about it. But that's a whole other thing.
Read the Bible, and I love the Bible, and that's why he brought it to me like that. But
Yeah,
see, that's
so
the thing. You got to
y'all
talk
gotta
to some of our
understand when it
African and
comes to the
Ethiopian
Bible.
brothers and find out. And see, that's the other piece. A lot of us say that, and a lot of us say that based off of what others said. The reason why I continue to still follow it was because I was one of those people who were like, I'm not going to follow this YT man's religion. So I did the background check, the research, and dug and followed how religion split up and how it divided and how you got all these other religions and where our religion initially came from and how it truly is the covenant of not the covenant of, I can't remember, but there's certain things that are still in Ethiopia today. The
Ethiopia
real
was the
Jewish
first
people
nation
are
to
in
become Christian.
Ethiopia.
But this is why I say,
Ethiopia.
if people realize, and I want to say this, if people realize, because I know I'm not going to take that spot, because again, I agree with what Kev was saying, and also Mira and what she just was saying. But if you read the word, you will understand. That's why I say people just read it for yourself, because I don't go off of people. You get what I'm telling you? That's why I came from. I'm very spiritual.
Right.
I don't do
Suffer from a
religion,
lack
and I want to say just like.
knowledge.
Yeah, and that's why I say, and they get mad, they want to blame other people for their downfall. No, it's your downfall because you choose not to read and break it down. Because if you were read and get all the stuff, the Quran, everything else, and start researching, Google is free, you will understand who was in that Bible for real. And you will understand why the books was pulled. But that's a new thing. But the other thing, when I say is our people, listen, we push our people hard, but I gotta say we suffered. I'm not trying to put no other, trying to exclude anybody else. Y'all know that I'm not. But when it comes down to just not going, I'm saying going deep, because again, I read and then I listened to my grandfather before he passed of him being, in, his people in slavery. And he had went through some things, and my uncle, got beat in his head by a lot of police officers back then, and he's no longer here. But I'm just telling you, if you sit down with your ancestors or you sit down with people and start understanding what they've been through, we did suffer. And the sad thing is, it's our own also that continue to keep pushing it while we fighting each other. We shouldn't be fighting each other, but trying to build each other up, because we also fight outsiders. I'm tired of fighting both. You get what I'm telling y'all? Like, I'm tired of sitting here trying to fight both. I shouldn't be trying to fight my sister or my brother, because again, we're the same color. We may not have the same accent or come from the same place, but damn, we still got the same color at the end of the day. So I'm trying to see how you are, what you doing, how we can come together, how I can learn from you, how you can learn from me. It's all about really understanding and try to break that cycle. But we are in the place, can I be honest, and I'm gonna leave it here, is that some of us, not saying all, because I see other people on this platform really got a good mindset. I'm gonna say me, I'm trying to break that cycle, but I'm with people that's trying to break it as well. I'm not sitting around and trying to be the same way and trying to spread all this false narrative, especially trying to keep our people in bondage with a book that they don't read in the first place. And if they understand, can I say this? And I'm gonna promise I'll be quiet. If you understand what full Christianity is, you will end up moonwalking away from it, because you will sit there like, wow, I did not know. Because again, reading is so fundamental. When you read, you will get more clarity. But I'm going to say this, I'm very spiritual. I understand what you said, bro. But, like I said, in the Bible, yes, it was black people. It was a lot of them. But I also got to say this, as black people, we really did suffer, and we are still suffering, just not by outsiders, but also of our own. That's really putting us through it too. Because again, we got to watch our back on our parts, and we shouldn't have to do that when we be focusing on one thing that's coming against us and dividing us. I'll leave that there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her wholeheartedly. But you also got to understand, even in the Bible, it explains this. In the New Testament, who taught the Romans to be civilized? Who civilized the Romans? It wasn't other white people. It wasn't other white tea people. No, who civilized my people? It wasn't my own kind. It wasn't us. You know who civilized the European people? It was black people that civilized us. We were savages. Y'all weren't savages. Not a single one of y'all was savages. I'm be real. Who civilized my people? Y'all did. Y'all civilized us. Even in the Bible, it explains this. What skin color was Jesus? What skin color was he? He wasn't a white tea man. He wasn't European. He didn't have blue eyes. He didn't have blonde hair. He was a colored man, and he civilized the Romans. He civilized the Greeks. The disciples, who were all people of color, not white people, not white tea people, not Europeans, civilized the Romans and the Greeks, as well as civilized Europe, and taught them how to civilize the rest of Europe.
You're talking about the Moors, right?
Exactly, the Moors as well. What religion were the Moors when they were civilizing the Europeans? They were Christian at that time. They were Christians civilizing European men and bringing them to Christ. They were civilizing us because
That's true.
we were nothing but a bunch of cannibalistic savages that lived in caves for the most part, or stone castles that did nothing but pillaged across Europe and Asia, fought with the Asians, fought with the Mongolians, ate one another, beat each other like a bunch of Neanderthals. G-sided the Neanderthals, which was another subspecies of humans. We G-sided them. The Europeans did. The Neanderthals don't even exist anymore because the white tea, Indo-Aryan migrants G-sided the Neanderthals. It wasn't until...
Well, wasn't the Homo sapiens that came in and that kind of took care of the Neanderthals?
Yeah, it was lighter skinned Homo sapiens that came from the Indo-Aryan steppe, which is located in modern day India. I mean, if you know about any of the big migration of where Europeans really come from, we come from Indo-Aryan India, which we used to be really brown skinned before we started moving up to a colder climate to get lighter skin tone. Meaning we weren't always white like how we are now. That was because of migration into another place where there isn't a whole lot of sunlight. So we're obviously going to become more pale. It's the same if, let's say, if me and a group of white tea people moved to Africa after thousands of years, my descendants are going to be obviously dark, it's due to the climate. But anyways, besides the point. The issue is, it took the Moors, Christian Moorish people, to civilize the Spaniards. It took them to civilize the Europeans, the Italians, the Greeks, the Brits. It took y'all's people, and also who gave freedom? It wasn't a white tea man that advocated for freedom. Martin Luther King civilized. His speech civilized the white tea man to give y'all rights. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, who were both black men, civilized the white tea American men to make them, realize with some common sense that we all human at the end of the day, Y'all
Actually, in the Reconstruction, though,
yeah,
there was rights that were given us. So we had senators, we had congressmen in the Reconstruction, and then Dred Scott happened.
That's correct.
We were like involved in government until it got unnerving, because I think at the same time, and this is going to click with you, anybody who's listening right now, because I think at the same time there was the Haitian Revolution somewhere around there,
right,
and they kicked the French out,
right,
and so at that time the people who were in power in the United States, they got afraid. And then they started adjusting the laws, and they started turning the laws. That's when the Dred Scott happened. And that's when Birth of a Nation happened, because they didn't want what happened in Haitian to happen here. They was afraid of that. The Nat Turner, right? They didn't want none of that stuff to happen anymore. And so they changed a lot of the laws, and that's when it got bad for us. But during Reconstruction, there was a lot going for a lot of black communities. I mean,
Right.
that's what happened when they before they started burning down cities and towns and all that. But
Yeah.
that's just the history. And just to go back just a little bit, dial it back just a little bit further. We're in nature, we're tribal.
Of
You know,
course.
Zulus,
Absolutely.
and if you go all the way back, we're tribal. And so it comes back to that. And yes, as we have advanced as human beings, yeah, we have civilized ourselves in some way, but we're still tribal in another way. That's ingrained. That's just
Man,
in our
even with the
nature.
European man, I mean, my
Even
tribe is
European,
still,
yes.
I mean, I'm still called a Greco. When I go to Europe, my dad's still called a Greek man. He's still called a Peloponnesian, which is a Greek tribe. My mom is still called an Iberian, which is a Spaniard tribe. I mean, humans are by nature, we're still tribal. But,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to understand, we're civilized to a point, where we realize a lot of this isn't right, what's going on in the world.
Yeah, and that's true, and that's the thing,
Right.
and still pinch a little bit of discussion, even with black on black racism, right?
Right.
We're tribal in that nature. I mean, my grandmother, she was Irish, she was Creole, but she was Irish and French, but she was back in the day, you used to call it passing, right? She could pass,
Right.
you know. But she would be like the darker blacks, those are the niggas over there. But we are blacks over here. But that was a racism that was.
That's like colorism.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, colorism exists all over. I mean, my dad, he's Peloponnesian. If you ever seen a Southern European, bro, they look almost Arab. My
Yeah,
dad,
yeah.
my dad gets confused of being Arab, and he's Greek. He gets confused of being Arab all the time because he's brown. I mean, you take a look at my dad, he's straight up brown. I'm be real, straight up brown. Look like a straight up Arab, but he's
And we
not.
still all
Right.
bleed red though, brother.
Let's get back to this
Yeah,
topic
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick.
Go ahead.
Let's get back to this topic. Cause y'all done went on it's all y'all on the phone conversation. I'm talking to I'm messing with y'all. But let's get to the other juicy one there. All right, is this smart? And I feel like all of them, both of them first two still juicy. All of them was juicy on there. I ain't gonna even lie. Let's go to this one. I want to get to the police one. Let's talk about the police now. Is it smart to argue with the police even if you know your rights? Let me get Mirror in here, man. Get off that video game. I'm gonna make sure I'm bothering him because I ain't seen him in a while.
Leave me alone.
No dinosaurs for you today, saying that.
What's good?
Is it smart to argue with the police, even if you know your rights?
Not for us.
That's funny. Not for us. I should have said that, especially for right. I like that.
Not if you want to make it home. Not be very wise.
See, I think the issue is when it comes to police, a lot of them got that PTSD, and I don't think you should be a police officer if you got mental issues. If you got mental issues, you don't need to be.
Yeah. Hold up real quick. I'm gonna get to your turn in a minute though. I just want everybody to go through. Let's do I think it's weird how this thing is. I'm gonna do John, then I'm gonna do Sunshine, then I'm gonna do Maine, then I'm gonna do you, then Maine. I do that. John, is it smart to argue
No.
with the police,
Nope.
even if you know your rights?
No. The only reason why I say that, look,
So you gonna leave it with that?
no, I'm going to say, hold on. I don't know if you can hear the TV, but I just need to mute it for a second. If you know your rights, yeah, do it. But if you have, look, I've I don't know how old anybody is on here, but I've had sometimes, I'll say, some incidents with police officers. But one time I was in the passenger seat and I thought I knew my rights. And I did. But it was my word against him. And he didn't like the way I spoke to him because I knew my rights. I ended up in jail just for the night. But no charges against me. They just put me in jail just because he could. So that's why I say no, because even though I knew my rights, I spit them out because I have lawyers who are cousins. But yeah, hey, I'll just say no. Don't even try to argue because it's their word against yours. And the Blue Brotherhood is a real thing. I have friends and family members who are police officers. Some of them retired. But the Blue Brotherhood they're going to look after themselves. And they're not going to, if somebody just kind of breaks protocol, they're going to look after them first. Unless they're, of course, it's a family member. But yeah, I would say, try to comply as much as you can. Don't talk shit.
That you got a mic or something, or is that some noise? Every time you talk, I'll be hearing a noise.
I'm talking with some earphones, but
Oh, it must be scraping against your face every time you talk or something.
my
I keep
bad, my
hearing
bad.
something.
I think it is.
I'm like, I keep hearing. I'm like, but no, I
But
heard
did you
you
get the point of what I was trying to say? At least the gist of it.
though. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I apologize, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Are you good? Okay. Sunshine, what you got for us?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I know how we don't, some of them just want to have their issues and stuff like that. But then again, can I say this? We do see when you do cooperate, we see some fatalities still happening. And we got to be honest about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all see some of they cooperate, trying to give out this stuff, and they just want to be, just in a place to want to just go ahead and take somebody out. And that's not cool. So, in a way, it's like this question is kind of iffy to me. I'm not going to just say fully no, because even if you do cooperate, you're going to get an outcome. Because they're going to try to I'm not saying all, some want to find that way. And if you don't and you're going against it, then they still think that you're hostile. At least you have it, you know your rights, because some people don't know their rights. And even if you have a phone and you're still recording, like that incident happened with that dude and his baby mama was sitting on the side. I know y'all heard that when she was recording and all he was doing is reaching in his back pocket to give, I can't think of that man's name, get his ID, and the man just end up just pow him, pew pew, whatever you say. But you see, this is why I say it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm gonna say it like that, and I'm being honest. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because at the end of the day, we don't know how these people or some of these people, what's going on in their brain when they come and pull people over. And I'm sorry that happened to you, John, and anybody else that went through that stuff, because it's sad. But I'm just gonna say, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I don't have an answer like that.
Okay, I can get you on that.
appreciate
And I
that,
feel you. I
Sunshine.
can
Thank
feel
you.
that one. Jay, what you got for us?
I think it's a mental issue when it comes to police officers. You got to understand, the moment they put on that badge. Sorry, I'm just got done working out. But the moment they got put on that badge, they in a whole new mindset. They think they own the world, That gun that they carry, the pew pew, they carry on their waist, that gives them a lot of supremative power to them, is what they think. And they think they're untouchable. And a lot of them got PTSD. Not saying that excuses it, because they shouldn't be a cop if they got PTSD. They shouldn't. I don't think any cop who has a mental illness should be a cop. Because you're not mentally right to be a cop. If you have PTSD, whether it be from whatever war You should not be a cop, because that's going to change your whole mindset on how you view a whole group of people. So let's say somebody who is of colored or person of color, you know, of course they're going to be uncomfortable, especially around a YT cop, in my opinion, because they have that authority, they have that supremative mindset, and they going to do something if they just don't like you. I mean, it's another human being we talking about. I'm not trying to say all humans are evil here, but we certainly ain't, you know, we ain't angels by any means. When you give a human being a weapon, if they feel threatened in any way, they gonna pull out that weapon. That's the way human nature is. This is explained in the Bible too. You know, that's the way humans are. We're tainted. We're not pure. We gonna see something as aggressive. I'm not saying it's right, because it's wrong. You shouldn't be that way if you're a cop. You shouldn't be so primitive if you're a cop. They need to have backgrounds, but you also gotta understand that whole the blue bloods, as I like to call them, the blue bloods, it's a frat. It's a fraternity. You can't even get in there unless you're family. Unless you're either family, you friends, or you know them personally. That's the way it's always been. It's a fraternity. They don't care about protecting people for the most part. I mean, look at cities like New York, where they straight up just gang up on people. Y'all seen them videos where the cops gang up on somebody just because they didn't like them, beat them up with their batons? Y'all seen that? Why, when it comes to every other country, I met cops in Spain, in my mother's home country. Why don't they act like that? They don't pull over people just because they're a person of color. No, they pull you over if you're breaking the law. And that's that. I went to Britain a couple times. They don't do that. The cops don't even carry guns in Britain. So they don't even carry pew-pews. I went to Greece. Cops don't act like that in Greece. One thing I've noticed, cops here in America, and y'all can do y'all's own research on this. Watch other videos of cops in other countries, in other Western countries, compared to the cops in America. And notice how differently they act.
I would say, and I'm glad you said that too, though. I believe some of them way stricter than these. They might not, some of them might pop you. I don't know, but it's the mindsets, right? That's probably why it's different, though, because that entitlement mentality that's in America, right? It's so deep with that situation that, you know, that's why, because this it ain't gonna say this like to give a pass on some of these cops, but when I was younger, I seen it the opposite way, right? I seen it where, and I can get why a lot of these cops may be scared, because I seen it the opposite way when I used to watch. I don't know if it was a TV show called Cops. It was one of them cop shows they used to show, where you would see them get out the car, and then you would see a person, he tried to not even arrest them, he just talked to them, and then they will like beat them live, like live TV type situation, and
Right. But that ain't really a right to
it'd be just some crazy type situation. But I think as of lately, right, it's like it's just been some, I don't even know what the reasons be. And I think the most one that I seen was the worst of all, right? Because that shouldn't have had no excuse at all, was the one with the girl in the pot. That was the worst at all. That's the worst one I've probably seen in my lifetime. Like worse than the M&Ms in the pocket, right, and the can't breathe. I feel like, with those, they can have maybe a piece of excuse, even though I still don't see. I mean, it still was messed up, right? They can be like, oh man, he did this, but this was like the girl had no threat at all, and then the fact that my man's walked up to her and it with a pot, really, and it was gonna reach you. It made no sense at all. So it seemed like they came with some straight up intentions of doing it. And that's why I feel like, I still don't know the backstory on it. Did the dude did they keep him in jail, or did he get free, or is he, they still trying to check that out? I don't know what that would know, but I think that was the worst of. And if he survived this one, if he don't end up in jail, I really don't know what to say, because that was the worst one I ever seen, though. Like, dog, this she literally got on her knees,
Right.
all type of stuff. Like how you
Like,
still.
listen to
I
this.
don't know,
Listen
that
to
was
this.
Do you
that was
remember
scary
Rodney
right there.
King?
Yeah, that was real scary. Nah, I don't.
Yeah,
I
well,
wasn't even
that's
born at that time.
I
look
mean,
it
like,
up.
listen to
Rodney
this
King.
though. Listen to this. If you're gonna be a cop, there's a way to read people to tell if they're not if they're threatening or not threatening. There's a way to read body movements. A lot of these cops don't read that. A lot of these cops.
Yeah, that's easier said though, because I had a topic about cops too though, because I can understand some of the cops too, because it's like it's I think that's a hard job. That's most definitely a hard job, especially the ones that's good cops out there. So you like all that stuff go out the door, just like what they said. Mike Tyson said when you get punched in the mouth, all that junk change. All the rule stuff really do change soon as you in the midst of it, because you thinking about your life right from that point. All that training, all that stuff that can go out the door, real quick. Especially when stuff hit you from a whole different angle, and you like, dang, this ain't no test no more. This the real deal. Even at war, I don't think they just, hey, staying in that mode. No, as soon as something like they get their toe blew off or something like that, they get that all that stuff will go out the door, and they like, oh my, what I need to do. Sometimes but I do believe like we humans in general, we got fight, flight, or pause. What they say, fight, or flight, or freeze. That kind of comes with it though. So we really don't know what we would do in the midst of it for real. Just off human nature, we just really don't know. We can come with a plan, but I even tell myself like I might not snap on a person, or because I talk about emotional intelligence all the time and control and all this other stuff. I really won't know if something hit me the wrong angle one day. I will never know what I really want to do, because it's just so easier said than done. I could be like, "Your cops." We can. That's what I said. We can be so judgmental of cops and say, "No, you know better, and you did this and all that stuff." But we're not a cop. Like none of us been there. I would do this, and when I ask people like, "Would you be a cop?" They say no. So it's like, dang, you can't really. You can say all this stuff on the sideline, and then you won't even take the job, because a lot of us know that stuff. We know it's hard. I don't even want to be a security guard. You know what I'm saying? Because that's putting your life on the line.
I work security.
I just can't do
it. Security. I worked late night security too, so it's been dangerous. I worked as a park ranger as well. It's just reading body language, man. And you could have said, because I do got a degree with it, and I can read animal language too. When I worked a park ranger, there was a straight up bear. I'm not even joking. When I worked park ranger,
it ain't even that deep. It ain't even that deep. It's basically it's as simple as treating each and every person as an individual. Stop treating each person like the last person you dealt with.
Exactly. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, man.
Because I agree with what Jada said a little bit, but sometimes people can be Dr. Jackal's and Mr. Hyde. They could be so nice and stuff, and then something just flip. You get what I'm telling you? Like, this is... I seen it happen. Again, I seen it happen. Let me tell you this. I could tell y'all this. I seen a robbery going on outside this is when I was young. I was staying in these apartments, and I was seeing my young black kings. They was getting robbed by each other. This is why I said that black on black crime disgusts me. But I was looking, and I'm like, hey, let me call the police.
Stop repeating that garbage.
Well, okay, listen. I'm gonna say it like this. But I don't give a care. Against each other, we need to fix that. But when I seen it happen, I called the cops, right? And when I called the cops, I'm like, hey, it's a robbery that's going, blah, blah, blah. When I tell you, instead of them going to the place when I said where the robbery is at, they came to my house. I mean, they knew exactly what door to come in, had a shot off, y'all know, and the lady looking at me, who in there? I'm like, no, the situation is outside. You sure it's not you? And I'm sitting here like, I just called to let you know who was outside. Keep in mind, I had a baby, my baby in there, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God. So it could have went the other way. You get what I'm saying? Instead of her asking, it could have been busting my door, and it could have just been a fatality. So this is why I'm saying, like, that's why I say, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. We don't know. Right. And it's like, you have, only thing I say, just try to protect yourself the best way you know how. And if you feel that, though, you want to speak up against certain things, to each his own. I'm not here to really, for me and my safety, and things like that, I can speak up and say, I don't have to give my ID situation to be nice. And then the cops saying, why?
Right.
where you get what I'm telling you. You can either
Exactly.
give me this because it is, and then they go off and holler at me, and then I'm just like, what, here you go, because I don't want to continue to keep going back and forth. Now I'm gonna do that. Now I agree with you on that too, Kev. I'm not going back and forth because then it's gonna escalate, and nobody want to de-escalate. Because come on, some cops don't de-escalate, and then we don't because then we get hired too. You get what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like a battle with each other, and then all of a sudden now somebody on the ground or somebody 6 feet under. Can we just be honest? So
Right.
therefore, I'm like, I'm not about to sit there, and
Preach,
especially if I
preach.
got young kids in the car, and and trying to do the best I know how. I'm not looking out for just me, but them too. I don't want them to see mommy or daddy end up getting, unalive off
Right.
of something that we can really solve. So again, you have to play it smart. You have to, and it's everybody's situation is different. I can't say, that's why I'm telling y'all, I can't speak for all y'all. And that's why when John mentions thing, I'm like, I'm sorry that happened to him, because again, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, for that incident that took place, it could have went the wrong way. If I'm sitting here, because I could have been mad, like, why you at my door? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know how, I'm like, no, the
Right.
incident downstairs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to talk her down. She's like, you sure? And I said, no, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really was trying to get her down, because all I'm looking at is that what she had in her hand. You get I was looking at what she had in her hand, because it could have went the wrong way if I would have just stepped out of line some type of way, because I was upset she came to my door instead of going outside. So I just want to add in that.
Facts, and that's good that you did that, and that's a blessing you did that too, though, because like I know our emotions can't get to us. That's why I say if we do like stuff like that, we gonna go to rights. It's just like at least try your best to try to deliver it. 'Cause I'm gonna always stick with that though. I just me myself, but that's another thing. I'm gonna wait till my answer last though. Why
Hey, can I
but that's good. That's good that you didn't do that, because that
can
could
I
have been
throw
another
one more
incident
thing
like
in?
that lady with the pot. You know what I'm saying? They
I got a
always just gotta
question.
go for us first. It's gonna be crazy. But
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. She hadn't said
Let me get
anything.
main thing in, because she haven't said anything yet. Yeah, she haven't said anything. And then we can go back to open panel. And then I'll tell y'all
All
mine, what I
right.
feel.
I know what I said earlier, but Sunshine had opened up my doors a little bit. And I like that.
She opened it like that, like the
Yep, she
cops.
kicked
So
it
no,
in.
stop.
Yeah, she kicked it in. um. So is it smart? So yeah, I'm gonna kind of double back on what I said, cause um I think like John said, argue when you know you're absolutely right and have proof that you are right. So meaning, I seen a guy. He was sitting up here. It was a video of a guy. He was getting detained by the police. Um, they were searching him, and he had a lot of money on him, and they were remind you, his girl gave him a stack of cash, but he ain't really know how much she gave him. All he know was a little bit over 10 bands or something like that. And he said the only place he stopped at was I think it was a Wendy's or a Jack in the Box. It was somewhere he stopped where he ain't purchased a lot of stuff. But the officer, he was telling one of the officers, like, he was like, hey, he was like, make sure all my cash is there, because he was like, homie is up in the car with my cash, and I heard the rubber band pop. He was like, y'all gonna sit there and check while y'all got me in these cuffs? He was like, your man's stealing my money. He was like, I heard my rubber band pop, and the dude, like, in the car, he was like, your money right here is fine. It's fine. He was like, nah, open that door. He was like, open his door. He was like, that's not all my money. And I was like, okay, don't argue to the point where these people around you about to start tripping. Like, you around a gang of police, and
You
you
said
trying
the
to,
right word, a gang.
yes, you're around a gang of police, and it's like, always remain calm. And he was like, yeah, we gonna check him. So when they opened his door, his rubber band of money did break. He did break it out of the rubber band. But he was like, nah, he was telling like the police like, nah, check up under that seat, because he definitely put some of my money up under that seat. And they was like, they're looking at him, like looking at the officer like, nah, we know he good, like he ain't like that. And he just so like in a headspace of trying to prove that this man got his money, and he did prove it. He was arguing them down to the point where they literally was questioning. They had to look at the officer different, because when they did open the door, they did pull the seat back. His money was under that seat. It's like the officer broke the rubber band and slipped a couple grand, under there, and just like, okay, I'm gonna just put the rest of this in the bag, and just make it seem like this is what we had got him, all the money that came with him. But I just feel like, yes, argue when you know for sure you can prove that you are right, but don't sit up here and just do some useless
And you can go home
arguing.
safely.
Right. But don't be sitting up here arguing with somebody just because you feeling like, oh, I know that he an asshole and I know I had a bad day today, so now I'm about to really take it out on him in this moment. That would be crazy. Because some people would do that. They'll sit up here and try to argue with the officer, and it's like, because you feeling like your day just went terrible. Now you feeling like this the moment to sit up here and really spaz out. Nah, ain't nobody trying to spaz out like and lose their life. You crazy? I just think there's always a time and a place for everything, and depending on who you are, I'll say make the most wisest outcome you can possibly make for self, to where you will still have your life when it's all said and done. Because it's some people that's literally not even making it home. It's some people that's literally not making it back into their car. Like, literally. It's people that's sitting up here, you thinking you want to be Mr. Tough Guy, and it's like, this is not the time to be tough. This is the time to sit up here and do as you told and comply. Don't get me wrong, I had some encounters, but don't be like me, guys. Be better than me.
Absolutely, sister. Absolutely.
I said this, Carol,
Nobody
too.
got nothing. I'll tell
Okay,
you.
y'all
Oh,
remember
okay.
Jeffrey Dahmer, right? My uncle was
Careful with that name.
yeah.
Page might get flat.
Okay, no, well, it is. I can speak about it. My uncle was one of the casualties, Anthony Sears. So, and again, I hosted that. Now, y'all remember the boy. Okay, I'm gonna be careful because again, I don't want your name, but you already know. Remember the young? I think he was like, I don't know if he was Chinese or whatever. I don't want to mess up his ethnicity, but y'all remember when the cops came? Okay, so that was my auntie. Okay, so again, it was a lot of stuff going on. So that was my auntie, called the people. I thought y'all could say it. She said, be careful with flag. I don't know, but I'm gonna be careful. You cannot, because I can't, I'll say it on mine because again, that's my story. You know what I'm saying? It's my family story. So you should be good because I don't know why they want to flag you when I'm,
Nah, it's just his name, because his name, like one of them names that you really can't use on certain platforms, because it will flag his page down. Because I know a couple pages that got flagged just for saying
Just
his
say a
name.
person. Just say a person.
You know another name that got me recently, and I didn't even say anything, but somebody was in the box. It wasn't the mustache dude. It was the other one, the Russian, right? I was like, no, they was about to shut my whole
So
page. I'm like, no, I wasn't even speaking. I'm
I'm gonna
like,
say
bro,
JD. I'm gonna say
this
JD.
just
Okay,
sensitive.
y'all know who
Go ahead.
JD. All right, so JD. So
Oh
y'all
yeah, for
remember
sure.
the
We
cops
got
that
you.
my auntie was one that found the young boy walking in the street. So what happened was in that situation, she arguing back with the cops and telling the cops, "Hey, this is the situation going on. The young man was bleeding. Y'all know where he's bleeding at, so be careful." And they see all this stuff. So my auntie, she was really screaming. They was trying to him. They ain't put all this stuff on her. That's why I don't look at that doggone document. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm getting tongue tied.
Documentary. It's okay. It's all right.
Thank you. I don't look at it because there's a lot of untruth. That's why we in the process right now. So what happened? They was they was about to take my auntie down because she was trying to intervene and trying to make sure that that young boy would get the need that he met. I mean, need because he was discombobulated because of whatever JD gave him. It was causing him all confusion and stuff like that. So he couldn't realize what was going on. So long story short is that my auntie in that process, they said either you do go in your house or you end up in jail. What do you want to choose? Now that was sad because at that point, she already know what was the outcome, So long story short, y'all know what happened. If y'all seen, y'all should know what happened. The boy is not here today because due to some of the police. Do y'all not know they still put them back in place? This is what I'm talking about.
Negligence.
Yes, and they put them back on it. They gave them leave, administrative leave with pay. Y'all know it come with pay, right? But the families, regardless, they did get that lawsuit, but it took a minute for them to get that lawsuit. Now, on top of that, my auntie mental state that they took her to, because she had to have a choice. Either you go to jail or you continue to fight. You hear what I'm saying? And she's sitting here like, my God, like I gotta choose between my freedom or helping out an individual. And she cried about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some cops, and I'm not saying all, some people just don't need to be in. I'm just being honest because it takes a lot. I say I won't be able to be one at all because I have passion for people, but I won't deal with foolishness. But then again, you got those that you got to either choose, like I think Mira and she just said, the gang, you got to choose to be with the blue or don't. If you be an outsider, y'all seen that. If you be an outsider, try to speak up against it. Y'all know what happened. Can we just be honest about that? Not saying all that do it, but the good ones, few that try to step in and try to step up and speak on things seem to get overlooked. And then things start happening to them. I've seen it some of that stuff take place. So, like I said, to each his own with that. But I've seen so many stuff that really I don't want no interactions with none at all. I don't want no interactions. I try not to get involved with anything. If it happens, it happens. I just know how to move in it. I'm not going to be, sitting there trying to argue and fight because I know my mouth. Okay. So
That
I
real
know
talk.
just
That's real talk. Real talk.
sometimes you have to just be quiet, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? You can't get your life back, but you sure can sue. That's all I can say. You can't get your life back, but you can sue. So you rather sue than sit up here losing a life. And then your family, even though they sued, they don't got you here. So again, it's a price that you have to pay. Sometimes you got to put your ego to the side and say, okay, let me just go ahead and just take this L because I know they wrong, but I'm not about to sit here and keep putting fire on, keep putting the fire on the, what's going on right now, because again, it's going to continue to keep going. So I just wanted to share that out.
Hey, host, can I give you one more real?
Not you just stealing my shine as soon as I got my turn, but that's
Hey,
crazy.
host, can I
That's
give
why they
you
call
one
it
more?
sunshine.
Just
Man,
one more.
What'd you say, John?
One more quick story.
Good.
Oh, okay. All right. So, just listening to this, it always triggers something. But anyway, I had it was kind of like cops came to the wrong house. They were looking for my uncle. And so I'm really brief it down. But anyway, me and my dad were walking out the back door, drinking coffee, and a cop is in our driveway. Well, first of all, he didn't identify himself. All I saw was a white cop with a mullet with a gun in our faces. And he's like, put the coffee down. I was like, what? Like, put the coffee down. I'm like, but yeah, he came in just like, I'm like, well, who are you? Who are you? And and this fool said, he was like, I'm not talking to you, boy. I was like, and Sunshine, yes, your mouth can get ahead of you. Because I was like, who the fuck you calling boy? And when I realized at the front door, because there's an angle where we're walking out the back door, actually plain clothes uniformed cops were coming through the front door. And they're just walking through. This guy came through like Lethal Weapon 3, you know, just Mel Gibson, like, and he had guns in our faces, pulled out, like ready to go. Like, we weren't running anywhere. We were walking out with cups of coffee. And when he called me boy, I was like, who the fuck you calling boy? And he was like, I'll call you whatever I want to, you know, and that triggers something in a if you've been through what I've been through on some of the racist shit, excuse my language, I don't think I can say that, I'm sorry. But if you've been through what I've been through, a lot of stories back behind that, but he like stuck his chest out, you know, still with his gun in my face, of course. And he was like, I'll take care of you.
Say pew pew.
I was like, what is that? I'm sorry, huh?
You heard me.
Oh,
So you gotta pay.
oh.
You gotta say pew pew. Or
Okay, water gun?
squirtle,
Can I say
or
water
whatever you
gun?
can think of.
Okay.
No, not the G, just the
Water
G word. You
spit?
gotta
Okay,
say
water spit. All right. This is laugh and learn, right?
Sidearm.
All right.
His sidearm.
All right. All right. Okay. You know, he came out with his
You can
water
say that.
spit, and, you know, he had it to my face. And anyway, the uniform officers, you know, they came out. They was like, hey, we got the wrong house. And still, the guy was like, I mean, he thumped his chest like, yeah. I was like, what's that all about? I was like, should I take him to court? You know, and my dad was like, you just shut up. But it did happen though. The thing was, I think I was a little bit younger at that time. But the thing is that sometimes, yeah, I know it depends on the situation, but we have to be the people to at least try to de-escalate as much as we can, because that was a time ago, but now they're gung-ho. I mean, they don't even ask questions. I remember, you know, the term, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. I mean, they actually do that now. And they don't even know how to de-escalate. And it's like, so no matter how we try, and yeah, we want to go home at the end of the day. But, you know, real talk, I mean, that happened. And if that would have happened in this time, that happened 30 years ago. If that had happened in this time, I probably wouldn't even be here, just because I just said, who the fuck you calling a boy? You know, even though I had a cup of coffee in my hand. But that could have been threatening to somebody, because now you know, all they have to do is just feel threatened and they can just shoot you. So that's all they have to feel. You know, oh, he could have thrown a cup of coffee in my face. Thing is, I'm just explaining that's what happened. Oh, she left. Sunshine left. I was kind of sharing that for her, but it's all right.
The hot water.
It's just me and you, brothers.
It's just the brothers. Ask your mothers. I know I'm talking to. All right. It'd probably be some more people in here, son. I gotta, cause I still gotta watch this fight, all type of stuff. So I'm gonna be on fucking that bad. And I think most of my other people's is in. I'm thinking.
Well, it's dinner time, so they all gone. You know, they got
Alter.
dinner time.
Gone. But yeah. So dang, I wanted to say my piece too. I wanted them to hear it. But nah, it's basically the same thing. I was gonna say, so is it smart to argue with a police officer? And I think, well, by now, some people should know my stance because I done made a couple of videos on that. And actually, this came from that video because I seen that, I've seen somebody getting happy when they seen this dude cussing out all these police officers like he was just provoking them. And I'm like, bro, I don't get why we get so, and I understand it. It might be a trauma or whatever, and we just love seeing us getting our get back or the revenge. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I still don't think that's smart, sitting here because it's just giving a reason for them to pop us, I don't think we think. I noticed that. It's just like we get so emotional and stuff, and we don't think about, that. 'Cause I just don't like that. And this, I remember some chick in my comment was like, that's the problem with, it's like y'all done grew up to be female dogs or something like that. I'm like, wow. I said, but it'd be like women like that be the problem. They sit there and trying to encourage things. Next minute you popped because they be like, oh, you just a wussy and all this. They say all these weird, all this crazy manipulative stuff, and then all they gonna do it. And that's why I feel like, that's why I said beware of women that's like that. That be trying to be pushing, or not even trying to get you to stay out of situations that's like that. Because all they gonna do is, you took up for me. I love that you took up for me, but then you in a grave, and now they done replace you with a new guy and stuff. They don't care about your life that much. They just care about how they feel at that moment and all this stuff or whatever, and they judge your manliness off of how much you done got beat up for them or whatever the situation is, or put yourselves in danger. That's gonna be crazy. I think, I really believe women is meant to actually help provoke us. I mean, prevent prevent us from being in danger. They I believe they're the soul, they're the voice of baby, don't do it. But not, some of them so dang on masculine nowadays. They look at it like, nah, you gotta do it. You must be weak. They provoke things and not. I'm like, bro, nah, we need to.
Key and Peele.
Oh my gosh, that junk is so bad. And that's why dudes, imagine if we had the Americanized, and I'm not saying all, right, but if they got the ones, because if they had that and they had to talk to Hulk, right? Hawk will be tearing some stuff up because, like, it's supposed to be like that. Like, the girl that, I keep forgetting her name, the one that's supposed to, I keep about to call her Mary Jane, but that's Spider-Man. But the one that was calming Hawk down, we need those type of women back. You know what I'm saying? But now we got the provokers. Baby, you ain't do this. You ain't a real man unless you do that, and all this other stuff. Like, what the heck? What happened to the one that say, chill out, baby? It ain't all that. I need you to know. I need you back home. I need you, all this other stuff. But now they like, you don't fight for me. All this other stuff. I'm never gonna do. We're not gonna say never, but as soon as I deal with a woman that's like that, that's trying to put me in a situation, it's a wrap. That's the end. That's a divorce.
Betty.
It's Betty. That's her name. Yeah, Betty. Yeah, and we need more Betty women. I gotta make that a topic though. Yeah, because it ain't the same, man. Because I believe, like I said, if women use their power right, they can make some stuff happen. They most definitely powerful. They most definitely need it. But it's just like when they trying to be us or be man.
Well, we know we need them too, man.
Gosh. Nah. They know we need them, but they continue to say they don't need us. But I ain't trying to deal with ones like that anyways. The ones that need us, just like the ones that opposite way, the ones that realize that. But it's just so many entitled and freaking, if things don't work my way. I mean, I was even mentioning in the other live, it's so bad now. They don't like men, or they don't like things to go against their lifestyle. They start believing in God now. That's how bad it is. And they willing to, whoever pander with their lifestyle and stuff, they going to get with it. So God ain't about to pander you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not all about that. But that junk serious now, man. They just like, man, you want to stop believing in God now just because you can't do what you want to do. And that's why they also think that the things because I don't know, I think in this I did want to talk about the Bible thing too though, because it's like the same way that everybody be saying that they use that as man-made and they use it against us to fight each other in war and slavery, all that other stuff. They do the same thing with Black History. I don't get that. Like all the stuff that's man-made, anybody can use information to turn us against each other. So, and that's the reason why I be saying, like, especially when it comes to the Bible, that's why I say I'm willing to have like a Bible study with people that just got taught a different way or that just read it a different way. Because when I read it, I see it so much love behind it. It's really just trying to protect us. That's all it is, because like a lot of that stuff, even my own lifestyle, when I had, I actually came with stuff that like, cause I be trying to move off of love, right? And then when I be thinking of different things, I'm like, dang, this don't feel right, don't sit right. And then it'd be crazy because like out of nowhere the Bible start confirming what I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I never read this verse, but I realized that in life, and then not as verse confirmed that that's why I be loving it more. The more I be getting deeper into it, that it's really just trying to help us. It ain't like and I don't know why people so scared of control, man. Like that's what's needed. If you ever realize that all this stuff is arranged, the more free we is, the more destruction we causing upon one
wouldn't
another,
say
which
not
I noticed.
necessarily, though.
Everybody talking about I want to be free, but
I
do
wouldn't
you
say
really
not
want everybody to be free?
necessarily. I mean, the thing is that I would say I would when you when
Not
you said
necessary to
word,
what I'm trying to say with them.
okay, we have that choice and that freedom, and then if you throw the Bible in it, and if you throw whatever historical facts, not even just the Bible, but all that has been written. And if you look at I would say there's puzzle pieces, brother. It's puzzle pieces because not everything is just there. It's like the House of Babel, puzzle pieces. If you look at how the brothers and sisters were split up, okay, that's a puzzle piece. How were they split up? Because there is no archaeological reference to that actually happening or historical written part of it other than in the Bible, but there are other written historical documents that have a lot of history, but it's the puzzle pieces. And yes, all of it together, I think, puts the pieces together because come on, look, if you think about it, in whose ever version of God, it's not it's not a God is, I guess you would say, multi. It's multifaceted, right? So if you look at it all. Look at the history, look at how everything has played out, and all of the written word, not just the Bible, but utilize that. Yes. Utilize that with other. I mean, it's not like the Buddhists are wrong. I mean, they just have a way of seeing it differently, but just incorporate that too. It's all encompassing. I mean, come on, God didn't just say like, okay, this is it, and everybody else is wrong. But it's like, okay, like I said, if you look at the way the House of Babel split out, okay, that's the way religion split out. But it's not like everybody is wrong. But the puzzle, there's pieces of the puzzle. And there's a lot of those pieces of the puzzle. That's why some people are like very holy, spiritual. Some of them got it right. They're good. And, they're like, hey, what's up, brother? and then if you're like, hey, I'm like, I'm Baptist. They're like, okay, brother. But my point is that we're still all in this together. We're still on this planet together. We're still all human together, and we still have to just understand our own mechanisms that makes us human and how we have evolved into where we are now, which is very complex. Did that make sense, or did I just go too far for you?
Yeah, that was deep. That was deep. I guess what to sum it up, what you was basically what saying like it's a tool
Yeah,
or
well, not a tool. It's a guide.
yeah, most definitely I'll say that, yeah. Um, but I think like when I was even with that, oh well, yeah, I forgot I was just finished at is that like I was saying that dealing with because somebody responded and all they got out of it is like more of a like a manipulation thing and trying to say that I was basically saying we need them we need the, and I didn't make that a topic too. We do need like what they call it. You said it's Betty. We need more Betty type women, the ones that can tame
Betty,
hawks instead of sitting there
Betty,
provoking hawks.
Betty.
We need that. Huh?
Betty,
Betty.
Betty.
Huh?
Betty.
Betty is how it is. Okay. And we do need that though, cause like, man, it's like it's crazy though. Now a real man is determined if how much you can fight for them and how much you can put your life on the line over some stupid stuff. This dude called me a B, like stuff like that. They ain't worth taking nobody's life for that. What the heck? We'll just get the heck on. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I don't know. That's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. But whatever. Um, and most of the time, sure, they be them. They say half they. And it's another thing. They would set you. They would say half they part. Don't say that they made a face at this dude. That they provoked this guy. They just say that part. They say that one part. Because I'm the type that I'll question like, what the heck? Why would he say that? That's just weird. Nobody just randomly say stuff like that unless you done did something. For the most part, so I'm always on the person that look two sides to things. I don't care if you family or not. I look at both sides because I just don't uh blindly just take one side just because they blood or not or family or true kid true. I believe it's two sides to everything. But I guess back to that with I wouldn't say it's smart at all to argue, especially for us, especially us as black people. We shouldn't argue. I don't care how much we know our rights because that's another thing is you could be smarter than a police officer and they're gonna find some silly reason to unalive you because you already put them in get them in their feelings. So that's part of my thing. I try to get them out of their feelings as best they can, as best as I can. Because I don't know what type of police officer, and they just letting anybody just sign up for it. I done seen even some of my own kind of be like, what the heck, some of these people be so young and all type of stuff. And it's just like no telling who was a police officer nowadays. So I heard one of them was this, being somebody's ex and end up unaliving somebody. I forgot how that went. There's another black guy that unalive, but they don't mention that too much. This is our own kind, so they ain't gonna make a rally about that. We rally about the crazy stuff. We only rally when they come to opposite skin. That's some
Free
crazy
Ray
stuff.
Ray.
I might
Free
have to
Ray
make that a
Ray.
topic too. Man, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. I swear we gotta. Cause we just like the
You don't
biggest
care Ray Ray been
hypocritical stuff
carjacking the
people
neighborhood.
ever. I
Free
swear,
him.
man.
That's my cousin.
I don't. Right. I don't care about us unaliving each other. I just care if somebody's skin is brighter than mine's unaliving me. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't know. Maybe, and I've always been like that since I was younger, I guess. It's just like since my early 20s, I get to talk like that now because I'm 34 now. I'm so old now.
Brother, I'm
No,
20 years
but
older
thank
than
God I
you.
made
Come
it this
on
far.
now.
Thank God, man. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. Just saying, though. It's crazy. But, yeah, stuff like that, and it's crazy though. Like they want to call, and then even with that, they want to call you. Speaking of, they got my sister right now, my coon sister, because we the coons,
Everybody
the
trying to
cooney
get
coons. That's what they call us nowadays. Just because you don't sort of just share the same pain, and if you don't want to cry with, get all that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to stay miserable all the rest of my life. I've been getting taught this stuff since I was young and stuff, and I realized, shoot, sometimes we be our own problem. Sometimes. How you feeling, Jane? Not Yeah,
nobody
Mary
trying to hear
showed
what
up
you
after
talking
3
about.
years later. Facts,
Y'all
my
need,
brother.
hey, I just took a hiatus. I ain't officially back yet. I told you if it wouldn't have been for
Not officially, though. You know what I'm saying?
if it wouldn't
I
have been
get a
for what you
sample. I
call a
get the
smoke
sample.
detector
You
beeping, I
know.
wouldn't even been in here. I was just on the outside looking in. I was trying to click out, and I was like, "Did I just hear?" No, I ain't hear that. I ain't
Too
hear that.
late. Yep,
Not from
got you.
her.
Got
Nah,
your
she know
ass.
better than that.
Real quick, I was trying to give a segue for your last one.
How
You
you
know,
doing? How
what do
you
you
doing?
live for, and what are you gonna do to protect it? I know.
Oh, we ain't there yet. We ain't there yet.
Oh,
Wait. I gotta
my
finish
bad.
real quick. Let me finish my part. Let me finish. But yeah. Just to get no, you good. You good. Hey, you about to skip up? Oh, I guess
Yeah.
we didn't skip because we already did the racist one. We did start off with that. So yeah, we gonna get to that though. But just to finish, like yeah, I think it's that ego, man. Don't let your ego be the reason why your ego got blew off. You know, if I have to be direct with it, that's just what I mean, though. Because like we let our ego. I've been hearing stuff like, "Why we ain't gonna fight?" Well, oh, this what also what that girl said too in that post. Y'all can see it on my page. She like, "Dude, y'all always bend into bend into authority." And all. I'm like, bro, I don't get where she get that from though, because I think that's the opposite. We don't do it that much. 'Cause we gotta. It's an ego
Are you
thing, you
going
know.
in this
We
bathroom?
keep acting like we gotta fight. But like I said, people gon'
No,
huh?
nothing.
You said
I
what?
need to put it on pause. My bad.
Oh,
So I have a
oh,
question, Kev.
nah. But hold on real quick. I ain't finished. Before you get the question, I gotta finish. I was about to say that is, you know, that's our biggest thing because we tear each other up with our ego. That's another thing. Because like we can't look past our emotions and not think about how things play out. I think somebody was actually saying I just highly disagree with like just going in a war with just straight emotions instead of strategy. And I forgot who I had the debate with. But I'm like, nah, that's crazy. We gotta have some type of strategy when it comes to things. And we just go off, I don't know, emotions is one of the silliest things to just go off of because like and that's what's funny though, but we don't give nobody else a pass when it comes to that though. But when we do it, we can be like, we can do it and have an excuse. But somebody else do it, nah, you wasn't supposed to hit that girl back. No, let me say the deep one right there. You wasn't supposed to did that, or they wasn't supposed to did. Like, bro, all of us is freaking human. So it's obvious that all of us need to control it in some way too. So we can't just give an exception to people that be aware of it, but we don't just give it a pass because we keep going off emotions on on everything and stuff though. But overall, we gotta. That's why I'm big on trying to get us to control our emotions and all that stuff because like this stuff could cost our life. I know everybody when I say that feelings ain't a bad thing and all. I never said that, but it is a bad thing when you let that run your whole entire life. When you stop using your dang on brain and realize how things can play out in your future because you just want to go off of how you feel now. And I know how serious that is. I be seeing how myself is to this day, how I am on this video game, man. Because I realize, and it's this how bad it is, man. Because I be breaking controllers. This how bad it is. And I talk about emotional control, but I realize that video game is my biggest enemy right now. I realize how bad anger can get,
Stop
right?
rage
Anger
quitting.
will make you do stupid stuff, like flat out. It just it ain't right. It ain't even that. I be rage messing some stuff up. I ain't gonna even lie. I threw a controller. So what's the deal, AJ? But it's like even now, I'm like literally like yesterday. The day before yesterday, I got mad at myself because I threw a controller that wasn't even messed up. I threw that boy, and I'm like, man, I was just to start. I
Wait,
was
hold
dang near
up, hold
cussing
up.
myself
What
out
are you
like, dog, that's
playing? What are you
stupid.
playing?
Why I keep doing stupid junk? I'm
Really?
tacking.
And you throwing
Tacking
your
was tearing me up,
controller
man. It's like no matter how good I
off
get,
of
it be
that? You
people
throwing
that
your
just
controller off of that?
huh? Yeah,
Come on, brother.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fighting games be getting me. I hate one thing. I think I don't like is when either if a game glitch and it costs me, and then dude come back. Coming back is one of my biggest things that make me so mad. When they got a pinch of health and I have full health, and then they come back, I be so mad. Like what the? How my stupid
Now
self let them
see,
come back?
now you need to think about why you
And
getting angry about that. It's a
but
game.
or when somebody do the same stupid move and I keep falling for it, like they keep doing like a low kick. I'm like, no, you gonna do something different. and then I lose to some stupid stuff. I don't know. It
Lose
just
the
be so
game,
much
game,
weird
bro.
stuff that
brother.
happen
It's a
on there that make me
game,
so
brother.
You
mad.
can't be
It's a
losing the
game.
But
game
I just got to get
spammers.
that in
That's a
check.
game
I got to
spammer.
get that in check
Button
now.
spammer.
Well,
That jump
Kev, I'm gonna
irritating
say it
though.
like
Like,
this:
nah,
if
that
you're getting
jump.
mad about low kicks, man, you need to stop using trash characters.
Trash characters. I
What
don't get that.
character are you using?
I actually play with Paul. I play with Paul on there, and I play
Still,
with
it's a
Raven and my
game.
two Nina.
Okay, use
Paul,
Jin.
Raven, and Kuma. But yeah, I'm tired of everybody. I don't use none of them top dogs. I just don't, cause that's people use easy people like Law and
Well, okay,
Jen
so
and June and
look, I'm gonna
Dragnov.
say
He
this
top
about
dog
Law.
now. Dragnov. Brian be making
Look,
me
I'm gonna
so
say this
mad.
about Law.
Brian,
Law's
man, my
been
goodness, he
in
irritating.
Tekken since before Tekken was Tekken, so Law been kicking everybody's shit in for years.
Yeah.
Jin was like
And Jen
Tekken.
Autumn,
He
Hihachi
didn't
coming
come
back
until like
because
Tekken
Hihachi's supposed to
3
been.
or 2 officially. He wasn't there in the original when like Law and them were. Jin.
Who has
Yeah. Who?
crickets?
Yeah, that's my.
Jen?
I'm sitting on the back.
Jen was I thought Jen and Autumn started off Tekken 1 and 2. Hold up, you got me about to look that up. I thought
No,
Jen started off. Jen, June, and then Kazuya came in later. But Kazuya's supposed to have been in the first one, but he came
nah.
in later
Jin's
because that's Jen
granddaddy and
father.
father were in the original games before it was called Tekken. Same thing with Law. Yeah,
Oh,
same thing
okay. You
with
talking about
Law.
something else? That's what's throwing me off. I'm like, if you talking about attacking the game, I seen
Yeah,
Jen on the
they
first, second, and the third one, fourth one, and
there was
all
a
of them. Actually,
game
all of them.
pre Tekken. Law's literally Law and the dude with the
Pre-Tekken,
the lion head.
King.
Because King,
King,
that's
yeah.
not even the original King. That's King. That's
Nobody
King
should
2.
hold
Because the
fort on
original
the
King,
side
he
of the
gone.
road.
Later. Love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Later, Mirror.
Later.
All
Bring
right, for
back
sure,
the
man. Appreciate
karaoke.
you, man.
Man.
I need it.
He said I may.
Now, as far as like the topics go, bro, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I done sent you a bunch of videos on what the actual laws of the land are. I don't know if you've looked at them. I've gave you UCC codes. I've given you actual law and jurisdiction. I've sent you a bunch. When it comes to these so-called police officers, they do not have the right to stop you unless you've committed a crime. Period. And a traffic infraction is not a crime. So they are to write you your ticket and send you on your way. They are not to search your vehicle because that is unconstitutional. They do not have the legal lawful authority to do that unless you fall under giving up your Fourth Amendment search and seizure rights. So, as far as us fighting against the police, they have no jurisdiction or authority over anybody in this country unless they are classified as a federal employee under the guise of your Social Security and birth certificate. If you've recently looked, the judicial part of the government just got done getting rid of the alphabet organizations having any say in the United States whatsoever. You do not have to have a driver's license. You do not have to have insurance on your personal motor vehicle. Those are classified as personal property. You do not have to register them with the state to make them state property. Because that's what you do when you register your vehicle. When you get a
Hey, so
license, they strip you of your God-given right to travel and give you the ability to do commerce. That's what your license is for, is to do commerce.
So I have a question. So they don't have a right to pull you over for, a back light out. They should
No,
just tell you that your backlight is out, right?
correct. Because
Okay.
privileges do not overexert rights. You have the right to travel unmolested. So they come in with a bunch of bull.
Okay, I gotta
And
ask you,
probably
brother.
hold on,
Where are
hold
you?
on.
Are you in the forest? Are you in the jungle?
I'm in my
Where
backyard.
are you?
I'm in the backyard.
I know.
Yeah, that backyard be going crazy every time.
It sounds. I mean, it sounds like it's a lovely place, but
He
I
said,
mean,
I gotta
you
get
got a
that
lot
fresh
going on
air,
back there.
boy. If I hear a
Look, I ain't
bear
worried
back
about
there,
no
boy.
bears, no wolves, no mountain lions, none of that. I got a 45 with their name on it, and then I got a 38.
Still sounds peaceful though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it is. It's very peaceful.
But if you need the guns, are you worried about something?
The guns are for the pew-pews are for when people come try and violate my rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. I mean, man, I've been a hunter all my life, brother. Come on now.
Now, for a dude
You
in the
hunt
comment section,
pheasants?
I'm going to need you to go read the 13th Amendment and then come back and talk to me because you talking about the 10th Amendment. Go read all 23 parts of the 13th because they only using 2. There ain't one.
Not you talking to my mans that know about the law.
Yeah, he
I've
can
seen
know.
him in
He
a
can.
few
He can
lives,
know
like, with
about
my
the law,
other
but
people.
here's the thing.
It's like,
the-
I
don't start
apply
doing
it.
that. Yeah.
You, not you. That boy, Imperial
Nah,
will debate with
Kev,
anybody. He
I
don't care if you. He don't compare. If he created the book, he's still gonna be like, no, this not what you meant by
no,
your
because
book.
words and connotation in law are different
That's
than
funny.
common speak. So,
True.
sir, I don't need to find a lawyer or a judge. They are
The way
administrators.
it was meant.
They have no authority. First off, second off, I need you to do better because I got Bouvier, Black Laws, and a couple other law dictionaries that I've read from and I source my information from. So I've already had judges give up their seat and walk out the courtroom and abandon ship. So you can't tell me nothing.
Somebody's trolling you right now.
Yeah, I know,
He's
but
trolling
it's just
you.
the point. It's the point that people want to sit and they want to talk like they know something. Put it into practical use. Go do what I've done.
Look, I have.
Oh, you're
plenty
bored
of
in the
questions,
comments.
man.
I doubt he trolling.
They're
No,
trolling
he
him.
actually know about this. I done seen him on a few lives. I'm pretty sure he know what he talking about.
And guess what? And
Or
guess
y'all
what?
just
Since you
think about it
said
different. I
that,
don't know.
bruh, I
But,
guarantee
yeah, I
you
seen
I
him
can
in
go
a few
have
lives.
every arrest that you've ever done that was unlawful overturned and have you dismissed and have your entire bond removed so you can never be a police officer in the United States again. Ever.
Well, this
He said
conversation
everybody you.
totally changed.
Everybody that you wish everyone are arrested like you was convicted.
And guess what? Like I said, I guarantee you I could have almost every arrest he's ever done that was unlawful overturned because you're supposed to investigate before you arrest. You're supposed to be able to go in front of a magistrate and be released on your own reconnaissance before you have any problems. You're supposed to go in front of a judge. The moment that you are taken to a precinct, you're supposed to be then forwarded to a judge. But I bet you don't know what an Article 3 judge is, do you? And that's not a military judge.
I don't know what that is. What is that, actually? I don't know what that is.
An Article 3 judge is whenever you are put in processing because they have to take you in front of a judge immediately
As an
in
officer.
order to... Yeah, they have to take you in front of a judge immediately. Otherwise, they're violating your due process law.
Got it.
The funny thing is everybody that's a police officer says that they know the law. They know the color of law. They don't know the actual law. Because if he makes a statement in falsehood, he can be immediately
Liable.
removed as a police officer. his immunity will be removed, and he will therefore be tried and prosecuted. Because, like I said before, judges and lawyers are nothing but administrators over your estate.
I believe that cops are like, most of them have bully complexes. For one, they go into this job because they want to bully other people. Not all of them, but there are a lot of them. And I am a white woman, and I have personally been attacked. My life has been destroyed in the last year and a half by a police officer who did not do their job correctly. And I will say that I know that they are racist 100%, but I also know that they are not biased to the point where they will not do anything to you just because you are a YT. I was having a cat fight with a woman next door. She was a black woman, and I was the one who was beaten down by the cop and arrested. When I was not the aggressor, I was not aggressive at all, and I was beat down just because I told the cop I said F you, because I was being very nice, asking him to grab my glasses because the aggressor, the woman, was beating me up and my glasses got slapped off my face, and I asked her to grab my glasses, and he kept telling me to shut up in a very aggressive way. And I eventually said, you know what, F you. And he came over and he got angry and he slammed me to the ground. And it was a big thing. I'm going to court for it this upcoming month, and then trial is next month. And I'm probably going to get everything dropped. But what they did was they charged me with 2 felonies of assault and battery on a police officer with a deadly weapon when I did nothing. I mean, I have all the dash cam footage, and I cannot. I've been on a panel where they're like, well, if that happened, why don't you put it online? Because I can't. My lawyer told me not to until everything is over, of course. But I will say that they are racist, but they are not biased. They will do it to anybody.
Now, what I want you to do is file a Nisi Prius.
I don't know what that is, but I do plan on suing the entire department where I live. So
this is what I'm going to tell you. File a Nisi Prius. Look it up. That's in Latin. Look up Nisi Prius, and then file that.
Can you send me a message? How do you spell that?
I can't remember how to spell it. It's
just if you could just send me like a message, because I would like any help I can get on this, because I do feel like I have a gigantic lawsuit for what they did to me. I wish
Nisi Prius. If you just Google it, Nisi Prius.
I wish that I could.
And if he explains it to you, you would know what he's talking about.
I just want to say, I'll let him explain it. I just want to say that I wish that I could post the footage online, but I can't because I'm still fighting it. So posting it online would just cause more controversy, and I can't do anything until all charges are dropped. But
okay, that's the other part. I want you to have them dropped with prejudice. When I say this, I mean this, because this will then give you recourse to go back and sue them.
When you say prejudice, you mean?
When they say they're going to dismiss all the charges, you say you want them dismissed with prejudice.
Right, but explain that to me. Like, with prejudice meaning what?
Just simply as that. Because
like they're being prejudiced towards me because I was white tea?
No, just prejudice in general under the law.
Yeah, no, it was complete misconduct. There wasn't even a second cop there yet. And he never separated us, and he never separated us to the point where they could never get a story on what actually happened, because he beat me down so quickly that the only story they got was hers, and hers was full of crud. So it was just awful. It was awful. And in the year and a half, I haven't been able to get a job that I'm worthy of because they do Corey checks. I haven't been able to be involved in my son's school because they do Corey checks. I mean, everything that they did to me completely destroyed my life. I mean, felonies are no joke. You know what I mean? So.
Right. Now, okay, so what the officer in the comment section said is absolutely correct. If they're being unprofessional, he violated your First Amendment right to free speech.
Exactly.
And then he assaulted you. Mm-hmm. And then he assaulted you, put you in torture cuffs, which is illegal,
Not even he tased me while I was face down on the ground with
Oh,
my hands behind my back.
oh, so he assaulted you with intent with bodily harm.
Yep. I wasn't. My ass was sitting down on the steps when he ripped me off the steps and threw me 10 feet. And I was on the ground, face down, with my legs. One cop had my feet, the other cop had my arms, and he was going, watch out, telling the other cops to move so that he could tase me while I was face down on the ground. So it
Well,
was it was ridiculous.
here's the thing. With that, this is what I'm going to tell you. You need all charges dropped and dismissed with prejudice. That way you can sue them. Then you need to go after their bond, their surety bond that makes them a police officer. You could do the same thing for lawyers and judges as well. They have to have a surety bond that allows them to do that.
And
And
I
once
have
you
to
go
say,
after,
I'm sorry. I just have to say too that because I'm in a panel with a host who is a black man, and the other person below me I think is a black man.
I'm
I,
black.
I'm so sorry for you because before dash cam footage, when all they went by was the false accusations that they were put in police reports, that is why so many people were put in jail unlawfully because there was no footage, there was no evidence, and it's
Well,
disgusting.
no,
But
hold
here's
on.
the
Here's the
thing. Don't be
thing.
sorry. Don't be sorry for it. Don't be sorry for
Right.
me.
Well, because
I'm
I'm
fine.
not.
It
It's just
happened, but
because
the
I
thing
have
is,
because
don't.
in my
It's not your
20s.
guilt. It's not your
Well,
guilt.
but in my 20s, I messed up a lot in my 20s, and I
It's
would
okay.
get into a lot of altercations, and all they would go by was the police report. And when I saw the footage, I realized that I'm not this violent person that they put me out to be, because most of the time when I would get arrested I was drinking, and until I saw that dash cam footage for the first time, because it didn't come out until 2019, and I had already had my child, so I was settled down. I had not gotten in trouble. I had never seen what had actually happened, in person, and when I saw it on video it made me cry, because I was like, this is unbelievable that they painted me as the monster in the police report. And I'm looking at the footage now, and they're the friggin' monster. They are the ones that came into a cat fight. All they had to do was break us up and send me home. She was my neighbor. But what they did was they came in and they caused a huge problem, made it about them, and gave me 8 charges, 4 of them being assault and battery on them. Are you kidding me? It was just crazy. I couldn't believe it. And that's when I started to really realize like what, people go through. And I never understood it until it actually happened to me and I could see it in real time, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, like I was saying, these are the steps you need to do. You need to get an
Listen
EC
what he's saying.
Prius filed. You need to have all charges dropped and dismissed with prejudice so you can sue them. You need to go after their surety bonds that allow them to be police officers. Make sure you get all of your information. The body cam footage has to be given to you that is classified as your personal property. The police reports and all charges must be given to you in length. They have to give you full documentation. Did they also happen to put you in jail?
They put me in jail. They gave
Hold
me
on.
1,000. Oh, I thought
Hold
you were
on.
asking me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm asking. I need you just yes or no's. They put you in jail, yes?
It wasn't jail. It was just custody.
Okay, if they put you in custody, that's still, they ran your fingerprints, right? Okay, that's illegal. You have all kinds of good things that I'm getting ready to tell you to do. I happen to sit on a group of panels with a bunch of lawyers and a bunch of judges, and I go out after lawyers and judges. I've had 15 cases dismissed for
Are you a
other
lawyer?
people. No, I don't need to
Oh,
be a lawyer. I have a law background.
so you just give advice?
No, I can literally tell you how to file the paperwork to get them all, because as a judge, they are sitting as a person that is enacting as your trustee to your estate. That's why that they are doing what they're doing. They're getting money out of it. They
Right.
create bonds every time you go in front of a judge or lawyer. Anytime they run a ticket, that's a bond that's created in your name, and you can go look this stuff up. So they violated your constitutional rights.
Correct.
They violated your human rights under the world treaties and world court by arresting you, putting you in torture cuffs, because that's not handcuffs, they're called torture cuffs.
Yep. And the girl,
Okay.
when you look at the footage, I was underneath the woman. She had my head in her chest, and when they pulled her off me, because they showed up and they were yanking her off me, as soon as she got off me, she put her hand on her head and tried to act like I had her by the hair. But when you look at the footage, my body was so crippled that there was no way I could have possibly even had her in any way. Her head was all the way up. My head was in her chest, and her hand was on my head. So it
Well,
doesn't make any sense. It's just everything is going to be dropped. Hopefully, I'm gonna just be
right,
positive about
but
it.
I need you to tell your lawyer to file a Nisi Prius. I need you to have all charges dropped with prejudice. See, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. People don't know their rights.
And they see Prius, and it brought up cars. So I need to know how to type it.
Just say the word Nisi Prius. Now, since people are listening, child support is unconstitutional. Child support courts are acting in improper balance. They're acting as all three forms of the government: executive, legislative, and judicial. They do not have the authority to do so. Any child support cases that you have, you can have them dismissed. Now, John, I got a question. You had... Oh, he's teacup too. Yeah, Kev, as far as like all this stuff, people need to learn their rights.
Oh, I knew I wasn't wrong from the beginning. And the crazy thing is, when you asked me if they arrested me, I wanted to tell you that I had a bond of $1,000. And then when the bondswoman showed up, she ended up letting me out on the $20 that I had in my pocket, the $20 cash I had in my pocket. So that just goes to show you that maybe they showed the footage and they realized that it's probably not going to be right if you make
You
us stick
shouldn't have
out.
had... Yeah, but you shouldn't have had a bond in the first place. And if you did have a bond, it should have been an OR bond.
Well, I have a record. That's why. Like I have a.
That doesn't matter.
I have a
Does not matter.
It was just really bad, and I can't wait until this is all over so that I can post all the videos online and people can see how disgusting the cops are in my city. I never realized how broken the system was in my city and just in general until it happened to me.
What state do you live in?
I live in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. So you're dealing with some really old law up there. And
Yeah, I mean, and they stick together like a they're like a legalized gang where I am.
No,
That's what they are.
okay, so you being in Massachusetts, most of the people up there, I would say they're classified as Irish.
No, we're very liberal. We're very multi diverse over here. Like the city that I'm in is mostly Hispanic.
Okay. The police officers that arrested you.
White. YT. Sorry, YT.
Okay, well then they have some form of tie to two different organizations which are within the police force, and neither one of them are good.
No, I actually knew a guy that I was going to the gym with because I go to a private gym, and he was part of the Lynn Police Department, and he actually requested to leave, and he ended up going to Malden because he said they are so corrupt in Lynn, and he was a police officer that wanted to do right. And he said, they're so corrupt in Lynn, I couldn't stand working with them. I had to leave, and they gave me the okay to go to a different police department and be a cop because the Lynn Police Department is just so corrupt. Even if you were to go online right now and look up Lynn, Mass Police Department lawsuits, there are so many of them. It's disgusting.
Correct. I have a couple people up in Massachusetts. I know where you're at. That's why when I asked you what state you were in. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. Most of the police officers are in an organized crime gang. One of them happens to be a 3% of white power movement, and the other one happens to be, for the lack of a better term, the Irish Mafia.
What happened with this man that did this to me was his anger got the best of him, and he felt like because he was in the presence, he felt like he was God. And the fact that I had said F you to him, he felt like he had the right to get angry and slam me to the ground, but that's my right. I can say whatever I want.
Right. Now,
as long as I'm not swinging. Like,
right. But you do have the legal right to protect yourself. Now, here's the one thing. Were they police officers or were they sheriff's deputies?
no, they were police officers, and what happened was he slammed me to the ground, and when he slammed me, I started to kick. And that's
Right.
where they're trying to charge me. But again, my lawyer even said to me, "That's a natural instinct. That's self-defense." He goes, "Oh,
It
for
is.
all you know, that cop could have grabbed you by the ears and started slamming your head against the cement. You don't know.
Right.
You don't know what
Right.
he was going to do."
Now here's the thing though. What I'm telling you to do is to tell your lawyer you need to file an EC Prius. You need to have all charges dropped with prejudice. You need to go after their bonds to take them off of the police force so they can't be a police officer ever again. You need to look up their Duns and Bradstreet numbers. They might have changed it to something else since then, but
He's also filing a motion towards the cop that tased me and threw me to the ground because he wants to see if this, like, how often this cop does this, because he had another situation with the same cop who did tase another person, and it was a black man, and he was like mentally ill. He was like walking in and out of traffic. So the only thing
well,
that he was real, and they were telling him to stop, and he wouldn't. So he started to run. But when the cop started to run after the man, the cop that did it to me was going, "Tase, tase, tase." You're not supposed to tase unless you feel as though this person is a threat to you, and the running away is not a threat to you. Why would you tase
correct.
someone if they're running away from you?
Right.
Know,
Now,
so
here's the other thing. With that, if there's a repeating pattern in history, they just move, they shuffle them around from police station to police station. That's why I'm telling you, go after their bonds.
yes,
So that way
I'm
they
writing
can't
this all
do it.
down. I'm writing it all
Right.
down so that because I'm seeing my lawyer on Tuesday, so I'm gonna write this all down and I'm gonna mention it because I appreciate the advice because this has truly. I mean, I've seen ever since then. I've been with a therapist. I've seen 2 psychiatrists. It's really destroyed my mental health. It's
Well,
destroyed my financial situation. So I mean, I'm going for it all.
well,
And
that
I
that's
don't
the
sue
other thing.
people.
Hold on. Here's the other thing. If you've been locked up at all for any reason, you can claim 100% mental disability. You
So
also need to file a 1986.
what's that?
That is a federal lawsuit against the police department.
Yeah, that's another thing is I don't know how to do it. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ask your lawyer what a federal 1986 is, a 1983. These are all lawsuits that you need to file, and you need to have them filed out properly. Your lawyer is to help you. You are
my
your
lawyer
own
is.
lawyer.
I have an amazing lawyer, but he's court appointed, and I don't know how I got so lucky to get him because he's not. He's got a 5.0 if you look up his name. He's not someone that people are not calling, but I got him as a court appointed after I had fired the last court appointed because she just wasn't doing her job, and I got this lawyer, and ever since I've
Well,
had him, it's just been phenomenal. So I'm going to bring all this up. Thank you so much.
right. Now, here's the thing. Lawyers are not meant to help you. That is not their job. It is your
Yes,
job to tell them. It is your job to tell them what to do, how to
right. No,
move.
Yeah, he says that to me all the
because
time. He says, I
right,
can't do anything. It's up to you. It's your choice. And I said, okay, but I need your legal advice because I don't
right.
know what to do, you know?
Well, that's why I'm telling you exactly how to move.
And
The
then, of
other thing
course, what
is
they do is they tell you all the bad things that will happen. And even though my lawyer said to me, I don't think you're guilty of any of this, he was giving me all of the situations that could happen, and it was freaking me the F out. And I didn't, and you know, because they have to do that. They have to give you the worst scenario, right?
right,
So, like,
right.
when
But
they
that's
give you
why I'm
that,
telling you the
yeah.
Nisi Prius will stop everything dead in its tracks. Okay.
Okay, so I look.
Oh, she coffee cupped. John, you had a question for me earlier. What was it?
And brother, I don't even remember. I don't remember what it was. That was such a long conversation ago.
I said after you get done with that question, I'm about to do a
But
reset. I'm about
I
to change
like
the
what
topic
you're
to.
talking about, though. I mean, you know, you're giving knowledge, so that's it helps. It's helpful. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's helpful to some people that don't know, because a lot of people don't know the actual way that they can move forward with actually some, you know,
I'm just trying
problems
to
that they
read
have to
it.
deal
You
with.
know
Go
what? If
ahead.
you don't mind, like, if the
What
host
just
could
happened?
look. If me, I'm sorry.
do me a favor,
I
Gabe.
Gab.
Follow me.
I did, but what I did, but what I'm trying to do is, you can't hear me when I go on the coffee cup. So, if the host wouldn't mind, I want to read out loud what what the previous thing is that you said. I want to read it, but I can't because as soon as I try to read it, I go on the coffee cup and you can't hear me. But I want to read it to you to see if I'm looking at the right thing, so that you can explain to me what it means. But if the host doesn't want to do that, that's totally on them. I'm trying to the Nisi Prius. I'm looking it up, and then when I go away to read it on Google, it puts me on the coffee cup, and then I can't speak. So I
Right.
can't.
Well, there's only one form of Nisi Prius, so you're fine.
But
I
what
don't
it
know.
says doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
How so?
Maybe because I'm not educated on it. Hold on, let me do. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy and paste it to the.
That's fine. Now, John, to answer your question, why I'm so in tune with this is because my mother, grandmother, and all of them, they did lawyer school, doctor school, everything like that. My grandmother is a former lawyer, and she's also former DoD military intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I posted it if you see it. If you're done, not to cut you off, I apologize.
All right.
So I've got an extensive background in law when it comes to what we're supposed to know versus what they teach us, because most police
Right,
officers
right.
are going under the color of law and not the actual law.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I
know.
call them a
I know.
legalized gang. They're a legalized gang. That's what they are. They
Yeah,
come in
well,
to a situation to what they're supposed to help, and all they do is make everything worse.
right. Well, that's the thing. The police officers in this country, and I specifically say the police officers, do not have jurisdictional authority to arrest anybody, detain anybody. The only law enforcement in the United States that has the lawful right to detain and arrest are the U.S. Marshals and the sheriff.
Or the sheriffs, right? Yep.
Yeah, or the sheriffs. And
Oh yeah, the sheriff
then,
showed up, and he told someone else that was at the scene. He said, this is our last resort. We try to do this. We try to talk it out first. This man, all I did was ask this man for my glasses, and I'm saying, please just get my glasses. And he's going, shut up. And I go, you know what? Fuck you. He comes over to me, and I go, don't tell me to shut up. And I put my hand on the railing, and he put one hand on my wrist, the other hand on my shoulder, and he tossed me 10 feet. And that was it. I knew I was done. So then when they were
well,
trying to talk to me afterwards, because I was drinking, I was intoxicated, when they were trying to talk to me after I was already on my face for 25 to 30 minutes. Then they finally turned me over and they're trying to talk to me. I'm already erratic because I'm hysterical. You can't try to ask me what happened now. I'm hysterical and I'm intoxicated. If you had just pushed me aside and tried to ask me what happened and then pushed her aside and asked her what happened, then you probably would have got a story. But because you did that and you completely screwed up the whole crime scene, you got nothing. And you arrested someone on nothing. And the other girl that was assaulting me didn't even get charged with assault. She went in her house and spent the night in her bed and lived her best life. And that's what
Right.
bothers me the most.
Now, the police officers in this country are actually foreign agents.
But
do
did you
not-
see what I put in the comments?
Yes, and I got you. That's
So
why
what does that
I'm-
mean? Okay.
So, what I'm giving you is all the information.
I know. I'm
in
sorry. I'm
layman's
just
terms.
excited. I
No,
apologize.
you're
I'm
fine.
excited.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just giving it to you in layman's terms, but what I am going to tell you, you need to get a Bouvier's dictionary and you need to get a Black Laws dictionary. Black Laws dictionary, volume 4, volume 6, 9, and 12.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna remember that. So I did follow you, and I will message you if you don't mind after this, so that I can ask
That's
you
fine.
some questions. I'm actually gonna message you now so that I don't lose you because I have a lot of people. I'm gonna just
Right.
shoot you a message.
And do you have Discord? John, do you have Discord? John, do you have
I
Discord?
was just about to leave. Yes. I think my
Follow.
son does.
Make you a Discord and follow me here on TikTok. I'll add you into my Discord group, and you can get in touch with all the people that I work with. Because I don't just do this for fun. I do this for a living. Like, I've got an actual job, but I do this stuff to help people out all the time. Like I said, I've had 15 cases so far dismissed on child support because that's unconstitutional. So,
Got it. I mean,
Wait,
I don't
wait,
need any
wait.
help,
Child
but,
support.
but
Child support is
I'll still got you on
unconstitutional.
that too. But I got you on
Chi-
that.
yeah.
Child support is unconstitutional.
Yes.
So like if you made a child, you shouldn't have to pay.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that how the child support courts and offices work, they are outside of their proper jurisdiction. They are acting as the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of the government, and they can only act in one, not all. Because they're setting the order, they're legislating the order, and then they're going and collecting the money. They don't have the authority to do any of that.
Yeah, so for like a hot minute when I didn't have a job, I went on to like cash assistance, and I only did it for like a couple of months. And I asked them about like the child support situation, and they were like, well, you know, what happens when you do the child support is we take the child support to pay for the cash assistance. And I'm like, but I don't have a job and I'm on cash assistance and you're giving me the bare minimum. I can't even survive. I couldn't even buy food on it. Like, you know, what they give you. And they're like, yeah, well, that's just how it works. It's like how I like the child support should come to me. It shouldn't go to you. It should come to me and you should still be giving me cash assistance. Like I said, it was only a couple of months that I was on it and then I found another job. But it was just wild the way they explained it to me. I couldn't believe it. And this maybe just may be in my state, but they were like, well, when the child's father pays child support, they pay it to us, and we take it and put it towards what we're giving you a month. Okay, but I need more than what you're giving me a month because you're not giving me enough a month. You know, so it doesn't make any sense.
That's the thing. They're taking it and they're making revenue off of it. They don't have the lawful authority to do that. What they're doing is they're accessing your child's trust fund in his name because he has a birth certificate and social security card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's what they're doing. They're acting as an administrator to his trust, to your trust, and to the father's trust. That's what they're doing. They're
That's
double
crazy.
dipping. They're getting money from the father, and then they're still dipping into the trust.
Right. So I don't know if host wants to move on to like another thing on his panel. I would love to talk about something that you have. Yeah, I don't mind. I would love to,
Let's get it.
because we all know here that I'm. Yeah.
So real quick, what I'm gonna do is though, because I gotta get this refreshed, get it back going again. So I'm gonna refresh
You're gonna
the
refresh the
live
live. What
and
if I
bring
can't
another
find
topic
you?
up.
I
Actually,
hate when that happens. I do. I am
you
following you. Okay.
gotta follow me.
Laugh or
Follow
learn.
me, you'll find me.
Okay. All right.
Oh, so you'll see me
All
when I
right.
pop up
All right.
then.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Now, Kev, before you refresh.